All right, Mick. No trouble out of me, buddy. I get it. I'll walk around. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm Ron Bennington. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on, including next week. If you got nobody to be Thanksgiving with, do it with us, and we'll have a ball. Do you play that Thursday and Friday?
That plays Thursday, Friday, and replays over the weekend as well on Raw Dog.
Why? That's a little bit too much. But, the Thursday I get to replay on Friday because people who do have a family, they're not all going to be together on Friday. But Thursday I like to think about it with people like the Chris Stanleys of the world to sit down. A lot of people have offered you Thanksgiving. Shrekalov says that if you come out with her, she will take you out in the desert, and it's like Westworld.
Whoa,
really? Yeah.
Westworld it.
Yeah, and she said she'd be a sex bot for you, a sex robot.
She's a host?
Do it, Chris.
Yeah, I guess she's a host. I had to come past the Trump building today, and it was just a brouhaha. I think the mayor's going there.
Oh, no, it never ends.
It never ends. He said that, how he's going to get rid of the 3 million illegals or something.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 500,000 of them in New York City doing our work for us, basically. And they said if they ask for those like little New York City cards, which a lot of people get, you guys probably have them, right?
The identification cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who don't get licenses just get those cards. They could come for that. And the mayor said, I'll burn them. I will burn the records. I don't know whether you can still burn records. I don't know whether it matters.
Really?
But so we're already in that kind of a weird thing.
So they're going to meet over the burning?
I don't know. I think it's just two guys bellying up to each other right now. These are the things that's going to happen for a while. Just like last night, the press was mad at Trump because he said, that's it. He's staying in for the night. And then an hour later, they all went over to the 21 Club, which he could have walked to. I mean, it's so close to where he lives. And I know, like, wherever you are in the country, you've probably heard the name 21 Club. I've eaten there. It's no different than eating at your grandmother's house. It's just a really old place that I guess old stockbrokers go to.
Right. So it's more about the tradition of it than it is the actual...
I have no idea what makes something, I don't know why Sardi's is still around. I've eaten there too. Hideous. I mean, literally the worst meal in New York. And, people are like, we're going to New York. We're going to go to Sardi's.
Yeah. You're just sitting around like, well, we're in Sardi's right now. And it feels really cool to do it.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, I would make fun of people who went to Sardi's, but I did it. You know what I mean? I did it for the same exact reason. Like, honey, we're going out to Sardi's tonight. Tell the kids they're coming along. Maybe we'll see a Broadway star in there. A guy wrote to me yesterday. He's a pizza aficionado from Youngstown, Ohio. I think his fiance is from London, and he's going to Chicago. And he goes, where do you want to try deep dish? Where should I go? So I gave him like the two, gimmicks. And I said, but you'd be better off just taking a pizza from Youngstown and heating it up when you get there. I'm not a deep dish pizza guy.
Yeah, I'm not either. It's not really my thing, but I just feel like it's a different kind of dish. That's all. It's not pizza. And
it's not as good as lasagna. So what are we doing here, folks? What are we doing? Now, I'll tell you who is probably the hottest comedian in the country is a fan of deep dish pizza because he's from Chicago. And we've got tickets to give out today.
What?
Yes. We've got tickets to give out, and you got to be in Chicago. We'll give out a pair for Sebastian Maniscalco at the Chicago Theater. Where are they going to park? It's all happening Sunday, November 27th. You have a choice for either the 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. show. Tickets will be at Will Call. So you got to be in, as they say, Chicagoland. We're going to give out a couple pairs as the week goes along. But as for right now, 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. we'll give out a pair of tickets to see Sebastian Maniscalco, and we love Sebastian.
Yeah, he is so great. I'm even I'm recommending that my boyfriend's family watch his special.
They'll love it
because I know that it will make them so happy.
Because they're doot-the-doots too, right?
They're a little doot-the-doot.
So I don't know if they say that in Chicago, doot-the-doots. That's something we refer to sometimes around here, Italian people. It's because look at all of a sudden Vito just started jumping around.
Like playing my theme music.
Yeah.
My boyfriend's mother will say, if you say that someone is Italian or from like Italian descent,
yeah,
immediately she goes, like off the boat. No one's off the boat. No one's
been off the boat.
No one's like, not off 40s. The boat.
When's the last time a boat showed up? When's the last time an immigrant came here by boat?
Maybe a shipping container, but that's illegal.
Vito, one pair now. We have more pair as the week goes on, though. I don't want you giving out a bunch of pairs out there. But Sebastian's great. Matter of fact, seeing Sebastian in Chicago is like, I don't know, seeing Jimmy Buffett in Key West. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like when the Dead played the Bay Area. There's like things like, oh my God, it's Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden. You understand what I'm saying? Springsteen at the Jersey Shore. Aerosmith in Boston. I could go on and on with this. But some people, no matter how gigantic they are, and Sebastian's gigantic, in his hometown, be sleeping out for these tickets.
Huge.
So we got a boyhood, a girlhood hero of yours coming in.
Yes, Carrie Elways is coming in. Now, you know him from The Princess Bride, which he's just written a book about his experience in the filming of The Princess Bride, You Wish.
I can tell you now, Gail watched this movie a million times when she was a kid. But if you're an adult, this is a good kids movie because it's actually a pretty good movie.
It's a great movie. It was a great script. It comes from a really great book. So yeah, I mean, I was really obsessed with it as a kid. Like the kind of thing where it's just like I would start it over after it was done, or I'd watched it the day before and I was like, I'm gonna watch it again.
You know who's amazing in it is Manny Patinkin.
He is so phenomenal.
And you know, I've had him on the show before, and he says, and he's done all, you know, he's on Homeland and all that, and not a day in his life that somebody doesn't come up and do the lines to him. He says everywhere he goes. And he looks nothing like that dude anymore.
No, he looks nothing. He looks nothing. In fact, seeing him later, years later, figuring out that was the same person, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe, because like, I just see it in his eyes and I'm just like, oh my goodness.
He was Kevin Kline then.
Yeah.
That would have been that would have been, you know, the whole fucking Kevin Kline scene.
And it's a really great cast and everyone is really funny in it. But Carrie was like that perfect thing of just like kind of charming and sly and then beautiful as well. So like
beautiful.
Spoiler alert.
I'll tell you who else. Robin Wright in that movie is so fucking beautiful. You can't even believe it.
Yeah, the character is written as the most beautiful woman
beautiful
on planet Earth.
That's
the description of the character. She's supposed to be the most beautiful person of all time. And
what about the playwright too? The guy who's the playwright?
Wally Shawn.
He's fucking unbelievable in that. He's so funny.
Yeah. I had a playwriting professor, because he's a playwright as well, and she's very good friends with him.
I'm sure.
And when my class had found that out, all we wanted to do was we were just like reciting lines at her. She's like, I wasn't in the movie.
You know,
we're like, inconceivable that you're friends with Wally Shawn. And she's like, yes, yeah.
This is a very weird story, but to me, he's My Dinner with Andre. I mean, right. That's the thing. And that came out even before that, right? So that was like him having this acting career because he had written this weird piece. Have you ever seen it, Chris?
I've not, no.
It's great.
So it's just two guys sitting down, having dinner, and it's an hour and a half fucking movie of their conversation. And at the time, it was the shitty 80s. And the movies in the 80s were as shitty as they are now. I mean, it was a real dark time. So this fucking weird little movie came out and people just flocked to it. But then years later, I was doing NEW and JFK and going back and forth on the train a lot. And we're on the train and we're heading down there. And Wallace Shawn is on board the train. And a guy from NPR whose gig was finding people on the train and interviewing them. And he had met Wallace Shawn before because he had done NPR. So they're standing next to us where the guy's asking, like, I do this thing where I take the train back and forth, and if it's a politician or actor or whatever, I just do an interview with him. And then we were here, and I was like, well, that's amazing. You know,
Right.
It was just so New Yorky and weird. You know, two people who know each other find each other on a train, and they do an interview. It's like really like one of my plays. And I'm sitting there, I feel fucking nuts because I'm seeing a weird My Dinner with Andre fucking play out in the aisle of a train.
That is so bizarre.
And then, you know, I'm sitting with, you know, like fucking Billy Staples and Fez, and I'm going, is this nuts? And they're going, what? What's nuts? They don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
We were just excited when we found out my professor knew him well enough to call him Wally Shawn. Like,
Yeah,
I
never got to that point.
didn't know that we could do that.
His dad was like a famous whatever to some kind of thing. So he had been known forever, the whole family, one of those New York families. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the fact that this guy's coming, who, by the way, seems like he has a girl's name.
Carrie
No, but Carrie,
Elways.
that sounds like, that's even more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is a gentle name.
Carrie Elways. I'm dating a girl named Carrie Elways.
Oh,
and
she sounds beautiful.
She's so fragile. She's incredibly fragile. And then Andre the Giant was in that movie.
Yeah, which, I was already a huge fan of his, just being a wrestling fan. But to see him be like so gentle and sweet, I mean, I don't think that there could be anything more adorable than him in that movie.
You could make the case that he stole the movie.
Yeah, you really can.
Tom in South Carolina. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Ron?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, you were talking about Chicago. My wife and I were just out there a few weeks ago for the marathon. She ran it, and we went to Lou Minotti's for deep dish.
Yeah, that's like the original place.
Didn't care for it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Maybe you got to be from there.
Yeah, because she's from South Philly, I'm from South Jersey. We met in Wildwood, and told us that this is we got to leave. It's terrible. But we did walk over to Molly's and got Ron Bennington.
I'm glad. Did you say hello to Mike?
Wasn't there, I don't think. I don't know. It was so crowded.
Yeah, I know that place is always packed all the time. And
It was awesome, though. Great town, but no, the pizza was terrible.
I guess you gotta be, you gotta grow up on it.
Mm-hmm.
But when they try to fight like deep dish against pizza, you're like, well, you're having an argument about two different things. It's like someone saying I like ice cream, and someone going, no, I like walnuts. You're like, well, that's
different.
Yeah, that's fucking different.
And I go so far as to say even like Italian, like a standard thin crust Brooklyn pizza versus a very thin crust like Italian pizza. I have to be in different moods for those things. Like I almost can't compare those. Like fancy pizza versus just like regular around the corner kind of pizza.
Well, here's another thing with those deep dish guys. They're like, okay, we want a deep dish pizza. We're in Chicago. They're like, okay, your food will be here in 55 minutes. Jesus. You're just like, I came in for pizza, not a fucking turkey. What are you talking about? 55 minutes? The Cubs game's on over there. It's on. You watch a Cubs game, what's happening?
Is it mostly sauce? I've never had deep dish. Is it mostly sauce or mostly cheese?
No, you're getting confused when you're saying sauce and cheese. There's all kinds of shit in there. There's layers
doughy,
of this and that, and it's very fucking doughy.
It's a lot of everything, to be honest.
More everything. It's a deep dish. All right, so know like what a dish is?
Yeah. I
Picture it really deep.
wow. Like
Yeah.
a bowl?
No,
Not
it's
quite.
a deep dish, not a bowl. Like you couldn't put soup in it.
All right, gotcha.
There's a lot of dough. Tomatoes are on top of the cheese, so the cheese cooks differently.
This sounds insane.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. People like it. They eat it there.
They shouldn't like it.
You'd be better off going out and have a Chicago hot dog. Bob's is telling us that Sebastian is doing a show on this channel in January. Probably his podcast, Come to Jesus. Here's Tom. Hey, Tom, what's up?
Hey, this is Tom the cop in Oklahoma. How you doing, Ron and Fez?
By the way, when I say come to Jesus, I mean come to Sirius is what I'm talking about. His podcast isn't called Come to Jesus. What can we do for you, Tom?
Hey, I was born and raised in Chicago. I mean, I went in the Army and came out here to Oklahoma. Nobody back home eats that deep dish crap. We all eat thin and crispy.
See, that's interesting.
I never even had a deep dish pizza until I was 24 years old in Colorado Springs.
All right, hold on. You're from Chicago.
Born and raised.
And local Chicago people do not eat deep dish.
No, that's all tourist pizza.
I feel like I'm going to shoot myself in the head because these things are insane the way they go on.
Is that?
I swear to God, it's thin crust pizza cut into squares. A round pizza cut into squares. That's the way people from Chicago eat pizza.
All right, thanks. The Chicago
I'm shocked.
thin pizza. I'm annoyed. All right, Carrie is here. Plug it up, Chris.
Carrie Elway's new book, As You Wish, Inconceivable Tales from the Making of the Prince.
As you wish.
As you wish.
Inconceivable Tales from the Making of the
Inconceivable.
Tales from the Making of the Princess Bride is available now in paperback. Season 2 of The Art of More is available now on Crackle. Go to crackle.com to watch.
All right, let's bring you Carrie.
Carrie Elways is in studio with us. Carrie's book, As You Wish, Inconceivable Tales from the Making of the Princess Bride is available now on paperback, and season 2 of The Art of More is available now on Crackle. Go to crackle.com to watch.
Now, Carrie, we were just talking about this when Gail was little. This was her favorite movie, but this is a movie that I'll still watch today, and she's not at home anymore.
Hey,
but that is true of this film. That does.
It's incredible. I call it the gift that keeps on giving. You know, it's like we had no idea making it that it would become this phenomenon.
Not even an inkling that we're doing something really special.
We were having a great time, and it was special to us. But we opened the same weekend as Fatal Attraction, and we went away pretty quick.
Yeah,
and the studio didn't know how to sell it. You know, they looked at this film, they were like, is it a kid's movie? Is it a fantasy? Is it a comedy? Is it what is this? And so they put out a poster of Fred Savage, you know, being read to in a rocking chair by Peter Falk. And most kids were like, this is a girly movie. What is this? Princess Bride. You know, and it went away. And it wasn't until 10 years later, when VHS came out, right, people started renting it and then buying it and then giving copies to family and friends. And I still meet folks who've held on to their ancient VHS copy. You know, it's got tape coming out of it like a fur ball, you know?
Well, it must be so strange to be part of something that, you know, it's really part of the fabric. It's like, it's a very quoted movie.
Oh, it's probably one of the most quoted.
It is maybe
right?
the most quoted movie.
Right.
And then probably a bit of a responsibility anytime somebody has a connection to something that they loved from childhood.
Yeah.
Like, to be a part of a great movie, you're already a part of, you know, something that's going to be discussed forever, and that's going to be, you know, you're very aware that this is going to be, you know, talked about when the time comes.
I love it. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I'm so proud. As an actor, you're blessed to have anyone resonate with any of your work, right? Mm-hmm. But to have people come up to me and want me to, you know, I met kids who've like got whole passages of the script tattooed on their bodies. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They want me to sign it and stuff. I mean, I've signed body parts. That's crazy.
I have talked to Manny Patinkin said that it's quoted to him every single day.
He can't. Wally Shawn lives here.
Yes.
Right? he said, Carrie, I can't drop my keys on the street without someone going, inconceivable. He told me once he missed a plane. He was running to the gate, and they literally shut the door on him, and they all went inconceivable. And it's like, he can't go anywhere. Billy Crystal can never go into a deli, because that's the only sandwich he's going to get. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, the funny thing is, you've got this strong core to it, but then you could make the case that any one of the other actors stole the movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Andre the Giant
Fantastic.
stole the movie. You know what I mean? No matter who you look at, when they're on scene for some reason, and that's got to do, I guess, a lot with Rob Reiner, right?
Rob and Bill Goldman.
Yeah.
You know, Bill obviously created the characters, but Rob casts his movies himself. And if you look at his body of work, you can see his casting is great. I'm not talking necessarily about myself, but his casting is really great. And he took a huge chance on me. Don't forget, I was an unknown actor at the time. If they made this movie today, there's no chance in hell I'd be cast in this role. And there's no way they would take a risk with an unknown actor as a lead in this kind of a film.
Well, I love that so much in the book, because so much of it is from your perspective as just kind of starry-eyed at the experience of being a part of any big film.
Right.
But I love that you said you felt like at the table read, you were the most nervous person there until you looked over at William Goldman. Yeah.
Now, Bill, God bless him, is a nervous guy anyway by nature in terms of when going to work. Because he said, as a screenwriter, I love being in my office at home, and that's where I am comfortable with my family and writing and so on. He said he hates sets. He hates rehearsal. He hates readings. He hates them because he says that's when things start to I have to now be in front of people and answer questions. And he said, I don't like it. And he was so nervous, God bless him, that he actually made me feel a little bit more comfortable. And I'll never forget the first day he was on the set. We were shooting the scene where Buttercup's dress catches fire, right? Mm-hmm. And the special effects guys were a little excited because it was the first day of shooting, and they wanted to impress Rob about the pyrotechnics. And they told us the flame was only going to be about 3 feet high. Well, sure enough, on that first take, it was about 20 feet high. It was like, and Goldman wandered onto the set that moment, that moment. And he hadn't been warned about, they usually do a safety meeting, right? And they warn everyone about what's going on. He walked on, saw the flame, and he went, and he saw Robin Wright's dress on fire, and he goes, Robin Wright is on fire! Robin Wright is on fire! And Rob goes, cut. And he turns to Bill, and he goes, Bill, your dress is supposed to catch fire. You wrote it in the book. It's in the screenplay. What are you talking about? And he was so mortified, God bless him. He booked his ticket home that day, He's such a unique writer, but if you've read the book, it's great, isn't it? It's such a fantastic book. You can imagine somebody looking at it. I love that you've read it. That's
but I saw the movie first because I was obsessed with it as a kid, and then went on.
That's so great.
But you read that book and you would imagine that would be really, really difficult to figure out how to do it, to make that a movie.
Right. And that's, by the way, Goldman said the film, they tried to make it for 10 years. Different directors. Norman Jewison had it at one point. Robert Redford was going to direct it. John Borman, Francois Truffaut, the great French director, Francois Truffaut had it. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger at one point was cast as Fezzik. Can you believe that? Yeah. And if I didn't be not, it's a different thing. It's a different world thing. But so it's amazing, and of course no one could make it because they all tried to convert the book and adapt it, and no one could do it. And Rob came around at the right time. He was the perfect director. He just done Spinal Tap and Sure Thing, and he was on a roll. And Stand By Me, which he screened for me, and it was the most beautiful film. I cried watching it. He gave me a private screening of the film because I said, I gotta see this movie. And it was so beautiful, and I thought, wow, I'm working with a fantastic director here.
And they're all those films are so different. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get that.
No, he likes to mix it up. He wants to stretch himself, which I love. He's always trying to find something new to explore,
Carrie Elways is in studio with us. His book, As You Wish, Inconceivable Tales from the Making of Princess Bride, is available now in paperback, and you're doing a book signing tonight at the Strand in New York City at 6 p.m.
That's great.
Yeah.
There's going to be a public screening and then a Q&A at the Alamo Draft House in Brooklyn tomorrow at 7 p.m.
These are really fun gigs that you're doing.
I know.
Real
How
New
about
York
that?
gigs.
Like I said, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
You know, it's insane.
Well, you mentioned your co-star, Robin Wright, is like so amazing.
Isn't she?
And that,
And look at how her career turned out. I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
It's we all knew, by the way. I don't want to say we all knew, but I'm going to say it. We all knew from the day one how talented she was and that she was going to have a huge career. Don't forget, Rob, she was the last person cast. Can you imagine how nervous Rob was?
Yeah.
We're like a week away from shooting, and we didn't have our buttercup. I mean, it's crazy when
And
you
it's a
think
tall
about it,
order
right?
for someone who's supposed to be the
Right?
most beautiful
So-
person in the world.
And so exactly. And so he was thinking British actress. I got to get a Brit. There's a British princess, the whole thing. And the casting director had Robin Wright's picture on the wall behind her the whole time. And finally, she turned to Rob and went, "You should really see this girl. She's really phenomenal." And Rob's like, "Is she British?" She goes, "No, she's American, but she can do the accent. Trust me." Brought her in, read her. I mean, she had a British stepfather and grew up on Monty Python, and she nailed it, and was so great in the part, right? And so it was a blast. We hit the ground running. I can't remember a day without laughter on that set. It was crazy.
And she's so stunning. You got to play the part confident,
Right?
But you really are with this incredibly beautiful, talented woman.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm surrounded by these phenomenal actors who I grew up with and watching. You know, Chris Sarandon from Dog Day Afternoon gets an Oscar nomination first time. Carol Kane from Carnal Knowledge. I've got, I mean, the list goes on, right? And so I was, as your daughter said, I was a little nervous. You know.
Do you settle in at a certain point? Do you go, I belong here?
The first day after we got the first take and with Robin burning her dress, and I thought, okay, we got one in the can now, and here we go.
But I guess there's tremendous pressure whenever you're shooting any movie, because you know you have a finite time to make something that could end up lasting for the rest of your life at least.
Right. Nobody sets out to make a bad movie. Or a bad TV show. Everyone hopes that the project they're working on is going to be successful. But as Bill Goldman says in another book, which you should read of his, called Adventures in the Screen Trade, he says, in Hollywood, nobody knows anything. And by that, he means nobody knows what makes a hit movie or show. Because if they did, they'd be making them all the time.
Yeah.
Right? He said it's a mystery. You know, and when a studio has a massive hit, they're like, "Oh, now we know the formula. We got it now." Of course they don't. They have no clue.
Yeah.
So it's a mystery. It's one of those beautiful things. So we literally, I think we just fell into some magical formula. I still can't put my finger on it.
Well, there's something so great too about every scene kind of is a world in its own. Like each character kind of has its own things that it kind of has something for everyone in it. But
it's
maybe
a family movie, by the way. How many movies can you sit down with a whole family and everyone's enjoying it for their own sensibility? I mean, that's rare today.
Yeah.
I mean, it also has one of probably the greatest stage combat scenes of all time.
It's Errol Flynn. It's literally, Captain Blood.
I grew up on Errol Flynn, so that really helped inform me. My stepfather, who was a film producer, loved Errol Flynn, and so we would watch Robin Hood. The original one, Adventures of Robin Hood, all the time. So I knew that movie backwards. So I really thought, when I talked to Rob, when I met him, I said, we should kind of give him a Flynn mustache. He's like, "That's great. Let's do that." And so we had fun creating it together. It was really a blast.
And for you to grow up watching Errol Flynn and then get one of the few parts that ever happened.
Can you imagine what I felt?
Yeah.
I mean, I still pinch myself to this day. It's crazy, really. Truly.
I absolutely love hearing about how you had a bit of competition with Mandy. Like he had kind of hid that he had been training
secretly
months.
training for months in Connecticut or somewhere. And I asked him when I met him, I'm like, so over lunch, I'm like, "Hey, so have you ever had any fencing? Have you ever done it?" No, nothing. I'm like, "Really?" And I arrive for our first session together. And he arrived like 2 hours early.
Yeah.
And he's already got sweat, and he's like doing great moves. And I'm standing there and go, oh, really? Really? Okay, this is how it's going to be. Okay.
Which is great because it's so much like the actual
Perfect.
characters who are holding back how.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And Manny, you didn't see that coming because he had done Ragtime and stuff.
That's
so
right.
I never would have thought if I'm casting it.
Yeah.
I never would have thought I would have wanted after Kevin Kline
Right.
at the time.
Right.
But
He was great.
He was Manny Patinkin in that movie is unbelievable.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and heartbreaking.
Right.
Heartbreaking.
Right?
Yeah.
He's wonderful. They're all wonderful in it.
Yeah.
They really are. Everyone, I honestly can't remember a day without laughter. Seriously, it was just crazy like that. You know, Rob would cook dinner for us in his hotel. He didn't care for English. We didn't have famous chefs back then like they do now with TV shows and great restaurants. You know, certainly not in Sheffield where we were filming, which is now apparently got fantastic cuisine. But back then where we were shooting, there was nothing. And so Rob said, I'm going to get a hibachi and get me a hibachi. Give me a hibachi. I'm going to cook for everybody. So we'd cook hot dogs and hamburgers for the cast every night. We'd play Monopoly or cards or watch Rob's new favorite TV show, which is sheep herding. I don't know why, but it was just great. We had so much fun. Yeah, it was like that.
When something works, I guess it just works. The universe comes together.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
You're doing a show now too that's got to be so much fun to do. The Art of More because now it's kind of almost James Bond. It's
Right.
kind of that bigger than life
Right.
thing. That's got to be a blast.
Oh my God, this show, which is on Crackle, it starts our new season 2 is available right now, and it's on this fabulous network, Crackle. It's an online streaming network. It's free. You can go to crackle.com and you can just start watching. You log in and give them your email, and that's it. You just start watching. It's free. And it's such a great show. It's so cool. I'm so proud. By the way, when they pitched this show to me, my agent, they're like, it's a show about auction house. I'm like, really? How exciting could that possibly be? And I read the first pilot, and it read like an action thriller. And they really figured out a way to pull the curtain back on the art world and the antiquities world and show all the shady side of it and all the double dealings and the cheating and the lying and the thefts and the forgeries and everything. And it's an insanely brilliant show. I'm so proud of it. I can't even tell you. There's nothing like it on TV.
Well, the art world is already so mysterious
Right.
as it is. Like, why is something incredibly valuable?
Right.
Right.
And the next thing isn't. Yeah.
Why can someone sell this cup in a frame and it goes for $1.5 million? And then I go and do it.
Yeah, right.
and everyone goes,
And so much of that is just like you have to trust that someone tells you that that's
true.
what
That's
it's
what it's
value,
worth.
or
Right.
even that it's good. I mean,
Right.
so much
Yeah.
of it could even be considered like,
Right.
does the emperor have clothes,
clothes
or what?
or not,
Yeah.
right?
Well, did you just see the other day that Bowie's record?
Collection.
Yeah, his record player sold for $330,000.
Did it really?
Now,
I would
this
pay
is-
that.
Yeah.
I would. That's Bowie.
Yeah, because it's Bowie's.
You know
That's
what's
the weird
played
thing.
on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the week before he died, probably somebody would have said, "Oh, I'll pay $10,000 for his." You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that
Yeah.
thing happens. You know, whatever that mystique about Basquiat is,
Yeah, sure.
because he died young,
Yeah,
he
sure.
died
Well,
beautiful.
I met Basquiat while I lived in New York, by the way, and he was a really sweet guy. He used to go to this club called Indochine, which was underneath a restaurant called Indochine, and he'd take his bicycle there, and he'd hang out, and he was the sweetest guy. And I really got into his art living here, because you could actually go and see, he would do graffiti all over the city. So
Yeah.
if you found his artwork, it was like, oh my God, there's a Basquiat, you know? And in my mind, this is what I felt. He never lost touch with his inner child. And those drawings, people draw like a kid. It's really hard to do. And it's something that Picasso was able to do, obviously, and made famous, right? But this was the first guy we saw who truly could draw like a child. And we totally tapped into our inner child.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. So I think that was one of the things I thought that really made him stand out from other artists.
Well,
you know?
yeah, there was that innocence, but like you said, he was a street guy,
Right.
Yeah.
too.
Totally.
So
he was selling T-shirts for $10 a pop
yeah.
on the corner of I don't know, downtown in Tribeca or something.
It was just a stunning thing, and then there was all kinds of other artists that were happening at the same time.
Right.
And we're basically talking about when your movie,
Right.
hit big. It was a really interesting time
Wasn't
for
it?
New York.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. I loved living here at that time. The soundtrack to my life here in Manhattan at that time was Talking Heads.
Right.
And I went to see them in Central Park, and they rocked it, man. For the Fear of Music tour, it was insane. They were so great. Them and Lou Reed were the soundtrack for this city for me, you know?
Now, at the time, if you read any magazines or newspapers, they told you New York was dead, it was in trouble, and there was more art being made at that time than at any other period.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Which makes you think, what are we saying that about now that we don't realize that there's, underground art that's happening in places, that we're dismissing at this point.
No, that does happen.
That's a good point.
Yeah, a lot of times people don't realize what happened until years
later.
You're
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they just see a bunch of kids living in old buildings.
Right,
but,
sure. Keith Haring.
Keith Haring was the same exact time.
Amazing.
Julian Schnabel was the
fantastic.
Same time.
Love him. Brilliant. And a brilliant director, by the way.
Oh, I agree. 100%. And he did the movie about Basquiat, which is beautiful.
Genius.
Just beautiful movie.
They were great friends. You've got a picture on the wall, and if you walk down this hallway, you can find one. There's a picture of the two of them here.
Yeah.
And they were amazing. Amazing film. And Jeffrey Wright was brilliant in that role.
Yeah.
I mean, having met Basquiat, he totally immersed himself in that part. You could see it,
Also, like you're talking about the soundtrack of that thing, which was music from that time, is stunning. You could just listen to that soundtrack and see New York
totally
in the 80s. Kerry, so great to see you, dude. Congratulations on the book, dude.
Thank you.
I think it's such a smart thing to do that you brought everybody into it as well. It was really fun.
It's a love letter, not only to my co-stars and to the filmmakers, but it's a love letter to the fans. Thanking them for giving me this wonderful life that I have,
And The Art of More available on Crackle. It's online, but the budget must be through the roof. I mean, it's
the production value is pretty wonderful. I got to tell you,
production value and big stars.
Big stars.
All
it's
through
a great show.
Crazy.
It's fun. It is fun. I'm telling you, it's a great ride. If you want to watch something exciting on TV, this is the thing to tune into. It really is.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time. That was fun, right?
That was so cool.
Doug, he still looks great.
He looks phenomenal. I mean, hello.
It's still.
Hello.
Doo-doo. We got to go to the Strand tonight, Sim.
Yeah, that is so neat. So he's at the Strand tonight at 6 p.m., and then he's going to be at the Alamo Draft House in Brooklyn tomorrow at 7. They're doing screenings and book signings, so go check it out.
How weird to say, I met Basquiat,
My jaw dropped. Whenever somebody says something like that, it's too much to comprehend.
I know, one of those few people that have gone into that legendary status. By the way, what is today? I don't even know.
Today's the 16th?
No, but I mean, is it the Wednesday or Thursday?
It's a Wednesday.
It felt like a Thursday.
We got thrown off by that gig Monday night.
Yeah. I've been thinking I thought it was a Friday at the end of that gig.
Did you really?
I was like, shit, well, it's Friday.
Well, the funny thing is, we did that show, and then Johnny's like, shit, the Giants are on, because he's a big Giants fan. And then he had to go down to Atlantic City after.
Yeah.
So I think he missed the entire game
of it.
I felt like we really put Johnny out that night, because he literally jumped into the car at the end of our show
as soon as it was
and
over.
drove to Atlantic City.
Did you put a poster aside for him?
Yes, there's posters.
Did you go into his office, his crazy office?
Yeah, I went to his office one point.
Standing desk.
A weird standing desk, and then there's just cluttered toys. I mean,
so many.
I couldn't. And then he has 2 couches because he holds court.
Yeah, 2
because
couches.
People come in and sit with him.
And a throne, like an actual throne in there.
That used to be his desk.
Yeah.
But do you like the standing desk? I noticed people here are doing it.
I've never, when I had office jobs, I never had a standing desk. But it's interesting because about halfway through the show, I tend to stand, and then, it is
changes
good.
your whole perspective when you stand and do the show. Yeah.
It really changes your energy and the way you.
I used to at one time do the entire show with my legs up.
Like in the air?
No. I was not sitting there with my legs in the air. I mean, put them up on this console. But I don't do that anymore. No one knows why you do. I don't know. Maybe Chris should have a standing desk.
I vowed to never have a standing desk because I see it's becoming popular around here. Also, I see people getting rid of their chairs and sitting on giant balls. I don't like that either.
That's better for your back, I think.
How?
Can't believe that's better for your back.
It can't.
Well, because you're
That's a pet rock.
Because here's the thing. Like, look at how I'm sitting right now. This is terrible for your back. When you're on that, you're forced to put your butt out, sit on your sits bones, and like have your back straight.
I can't bother with posture.
I like this nice lean back because I got the back of a chair. It feels great. Like I feel comfortable. I feel good.
One time years ago, I saw little Steven walking down the street, and he was like hunched over, walking like this, and I was kind of laughing to myself. And now I catch myself doing it all the time. Like I look in the mirror, and I'm like, "Why are you walking hunched over? You're gonna turn into one of those old ladies with a goddamn humpback."
Oh my God. I feel like it's usually for me, I notice it when I'm sitting somewhere that like I'm already not the tallest person in the world. And then I'm starting, like I get really small. Like why am I turning in on myself until I'm just like way down here? And I'm like, please, God. Like, that's like the worst thing you could do. It's like sitting slouched like that. It's awful.
Really? It's worse than murder?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what they say. And in Trump's America, he's decided it's worse than murder.
He's a sitting desk guy. He seems like he'd be a standing desk. Trump. He is also a messy desk guy.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know if they'll let him do that in the White House.
There's no way.
Because he has, like, look at any pictures of Trump's desk at his place. It's just piled with like magazines, newspapers, and all that kind of shit.
There's no computer. This is a recent picture, and it's just told. You can't even see the desks with the amount of papers he has on this thing.
So everyone just has to like print all his information that he needs.
And look in the background. There's a fucking giant tower of binders of God knows what.
I think they're binders full of women.
But I mean, here's the deal. Should he have adjusted the way he lived his life just because the computer was invented? I mean, this is when he started his empire in the 70s, that's what his desk looked like.
Well, it's been working well for him.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's president, you know? That's something. That's something to become president.
But still.
They're having a lot of trouble figuring out what to do with his kids, too, because his kids are going to be running the business, and they're worried that they'll get secrets.
Yeah.
Right.
They say they're putting it in a blind trust, which I'm not sure what that is.
They're not putting it in a blind trust.
Oh, they're not?
Mm-mm.
A blind trust is you hand over your money. Let's suppose I got elected.
Okay.
I say, Chris, you're in charge of my assets.
Oh, wow.
And I'll talk to you again in another 4, hopefully 8 years. And that person runs your stuff, and you don't have contact with them. Now, his kids run a day-to-day business, so it's totally different. You're not managing someone's money. These are fucking physical assets.
Yeah.
So, you know, Trump, I mean, if one day he goes, you know what, let's get rid of hotel taxes. That's crazy. Then everybody's going to go, did your kids ask you to do that? All right. The mayor said he had a respectful but candid meeting with Trump. I don't want to see the news every day. Here's what I feel like. Like the Super Bowl happened, and now the people want to start talking about next season and who was drafting. I don't want that. I want a little fucking time off from the politics of it. He's not going to be there for January. Can I at least have till January? Till I start going, oh, what decisions did he make?
At the very least, I don't think a respectful but candid meeting is anything to report. Now, if it was a fisticuffs, let me know about it. Then I want to hear. But
Now,
I assume that it would have been a candid but respectful meeting.
well, candid is not a good sign.
Well, that
Candid
just means they were frank.
Right.
Like he was like, this is what I think, but I'm not going to be sassy while I say it.
Anyone who uses the term they were candid with each other meant they told each other things they didn't like hearing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now also people are saying that the mayor, the planet's mayor, what do they call him? The world's mayor?
The world.
Rudy
Giuliani.
Rudy Giuliani.
No.
I'm trying to figure out what his name was.
World's mayor.
But you said that with a lack of confidence. Like, we're definitely talking about, he was like, Rudy Giuliani?
Anyway, people are now saying that he's wacky and that he's got old and crazy. And they're like, I'm really worried with him.
Now they're saying.
Yeah, he's been crazy for a long fucking time, folks.
Dude, he's always been off the rails.
Yeah.
Always.
I met him on the street one day and shook his hand walking to work. He lives on my same block, but up. And when I forget how I bumped into him, but he was either putting like a suitcase or taking a suitcase out of the trunk of a car. It was very funny.
Right. Was this during the affair years?
No. This was like within the last 10 years. He wasn't even mayor anymore. He was already the hero. The affair, he moved down to 57th. I had a friend that was living in that building.
Right.
And she used to say that she saw him there all the time, coming in and out 3 o'clock in the morning. I was fucking cracking up. I mean, the thing is, everyone looks at New York and like, oh, it's such a big city, but there's a small amount.
Right.
There's a finite amount of space. So a lot of things, just like when they were saying that he went to the 21 Club, that was just a couple blocks away. And I had to walk past Trump's place today. This woman, she didn't, first of all, it was packed with just people looking at the building.
Just staring?
Just staring at the building. It's nuts. And, you can't get on that side of the street still. I think when Trump is in the building now, the lobby is not going to be open to the public. And people have stores and shit. And there's restaurants in there. It's very, very strange. So there's a bunch of people sitting there. And I'm trying to they've now kind of cut the thing so regular people can just walk by this tiny little space instead of having the whole sidewalk. There's a woman that, I wouldn't say that she had a fucking poster. She had like a play card, like just a small thing, looked like a notebook bar. And she says Steve Bannon's a white supremacist. And just, I'm like, what do you hope to do? That Trump is going to look outside with fucking binoculars and go, what? Steven, get in here. You like white people more than everyone else. Now, this is the thing. So he's the guy who was running Breitbart. I guess he was the money man, CEO type thing. But he used to do a radio show here not that long ago in the mornings. And Vito was working for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, my old boss Steve is going to be working in the White House, it looks like.
How closely did you work with him?
I saw him every day. He would come in right through there. I was the phone screener for the show for like a month or two.
Uh-huh.
So I dealt with him every single day. He was in studio.
Did he seem like a white supremacist or just a good guy?
He would have freakouts a few times a day.
Like he'd be yelling at everybody?
Yeah, like if something went wrong, like even the littlest thing that like was like out of everybody's hands, like something happened with the phones,
yeah,
or like something happened with the board. During the break, you just hear him being like, "What the fuck is going on here? I didn't sign up for this shit." Like,
can I just tell you something? That's 100%. To me, I'm like, you're in the pocket, dude. That's radio. Stay there. So you're phone screening, right?
Yeah.
And were you thinking to yourself, I'm phone screening for the guy who's going to have the ear of the next president?
Well, Donald Trump used to regularly call into Breitbart News daily.
So you have screened a Donald Trump call.
I've spoken to Donald Trump on the phone. He called up one day, and I put him on hold, and I was like, Steven tells us, just keep him on hold for 5 minutes. And I'm like, all right. He's just going to listeners. He doesn't have like another guest on. He's just going to listeners. So I'm like, hey, Mr. Trump, Steven wants to know if you can stay on hold for 5 minutes. He goes, yeah, you tell him he's the boss. Everything's up to him. And I was like, okay, Mr. Trump, stay on hold then.
Wow. So this isn't that long ago, dude.
It was a little over, probably like an exact year ago, because I came to you guys around this time.
This is the funny thing. Somebody could say to the next president of the United States, hold, while I take some calls from, regular callers, some of them who probably try to call every day.
Oh yeah, very regular callers who just wanted to call up, and they're all like, they all believe Obama started ISIS, like very strongly believe Obama started it, not just is in it.
Yeah,
like it was his thing.
Not in it. He never was in it.
But I'm saying, like, it's not even. They're not like, oh,
they're not even saying no because of his policies. ISIS was started. They said he had an idea. Hey, I'll start ISIS.
Yeah, we'll call it ISIS. Yeah. Then why is he the only one off brand calling it ISIL all the time?
Can I tell you something? Now it makes sense that he made Trump wait. If you have people that have that kind of knowledge.
And people would call up and be like, look, ISIS is here. I was at the store the other day and I saw people wearing those things that cover their face. So they're here.
Oh my God.
It was daily. It was 3 hours of that every day. And I really didn't know that really existed that hard.
Good God. Old Stephen
Well, they
Mannion.
do have that proof. I mean, it sounds like the grocery store.
Jerry Barker actually sent me the thing from CNN, the breaking news, Trump goes out to dinner.
It was all over last night.
It was funny, just yesterday we were talking about, like, he's not, for being a New Yorker, you don't see him in regular, never have seen him in regular New York places. Like, I know that he goes to charity balls and stuff like that at night, but it would never be the case if Trump was walking down the street. Never. Or just in a regular restaurant, like, let's go get lunch. What's open right now? You know, he wasn't that kind of guy. He wasn't Regis. It's very funny. He used to have a very close relationship with Regis, and then I didn't see Regis involved at all in this. But Regis used to be his at least TV buddy. Here's a guy that you never see around New York City, Hard Rock Johnny. Johnny.
Bennington's.
I'm sorry, you called in before the show yesterday, so I didn't have a chance to tell you.
It was during show.
Not only
I was so confused.
the dinner that you put on this year is getting raves compared to every other year. The family style was a gigantic hit.
I'm so glad that it worked out. I was a little nervous, but it seemed like everyone enjoyed.
Also, I
Except
love
for
the round
fucking
tables.
turkey legs.
Love the round tables. Love the fact that turned that into a Thanksgiving vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not exactly what you're used to working to.
No,
you know, for
but
an
it's
audience,
still
but
really fun.
It was really, really great. But you know, doing the family style, Kathleen from the Bronx was like, you know me, I don't go walking up and get food. You know what I mean? But look at me now. I'm tasting food. I'm loving it. Thanks to the family style.
She had the best quote of the night. She said that the turkey was cooked very well, and you know I love a moist breast. Quote to me.
I've heard she does. I don't know though.
That's what she said it right out of her own mouth this time.
But she made a mistake, Johnny. You took it the wrong way. What am I supposed to be doing here? Mike boy, his wife is the girl both looking at me. Well, you knocked it out of the park, buddy. Now, also, when I tried to give you accolades, you went behind the beam. You did not want the accolades.
I hid. I'm shy.
I did not know. In a million years, Johnny, I never knew that you were shy.
I'm not really. I don't know what I was doing. I was playing coy. I don't know.
He was
I had a lot in my mind. I had a lot in my mind that day. I was boogieing out of there, missing the Giants. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
I don't know what happened either. It all like it just jumped on us this year. And, you know, we didn't really prepare, but the whole night worked out.
Yeah.
You know, now we got the Trump cock and he's lighting the world on fire. But
I was standing there yesterday when I was could not help but think of the Trump cuck all day yesterday as I stood in front of the Trump Taj Mahal, and there were two people working security at the event that we did, and they both had on shirts that said Trump Security. And
that's
people
hilarious.
walking up to these two poor folks going, "Are you the Secret Service?" Like that was, of course, the big joke of the night.
That is great.
I'm like, these two poor people couldn't be anything less like the Secret Service, by the way, if you saw them. Not even close.
Johnny, I know you go to the 21 Club all the time. You would have ran into him last night.
Yeah, I didn't. Unfortunately, I wasn't in town, and I didn't have my jacket because the 21 Club is, I think, the only restaurant in New York City that still requires a jacket, and they have the rack of jackets just in case you show up and you don't have one. You could borrow a coat that someone else has worn for years.
There's one other because they put Chris Stanley in a little coat. The Friars Club.
That guy,
the Friars Club still does the. You have to put on a jacket, and immediately I started laughing.
It was emasculating.
It was very tight.
Short.
Yeah, it was short.
My fucking forearms were showing. It
Like
looked
a
crazy.
kid who grew out of his church suit.
Yeah, and I was like, Trump cock in a little coat. Trump cock in a little coat.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Well, Johnny, you know what? I swear to God, I was leaving there, and I'm in my stretch limo heading to the helipad, and I thought, that went all by too fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was totally crazy.
It ran too smooth. It was too easy. We didn't have you know what I mean? I like to do a gig where people are like, what's next? You're screaming backstage, dude, where's the goddamn camel? You know? And this thing, it was just too casual. It was too easy.
Too fun.
Yeah. And Johnny, we got all the comics in the green room, and he's just feeding them, and he's bringing them cocktails, and it was a lovely, lovely night.
It was very fun in the green room in between. I was like, I'm not sure I want to go out and do a show. This is a fun hangout right here.
It is very funny when the green room is like, I wish we were recording the green room. But we talked about this, and maybe we'll do it someday, Johnny, when the weather breaks, is just going out and doing something on top of the building there where you take us out for the pictures. Just setting up and just doing a live broadcast.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm totally into that. That's absolutely doable and would be totally fun.
We got to do more stuff, Johnny. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm ready anytime for the Benningtons.
All right, buddy.
You guys have a wonderful day.
And for now, I'll call after the show opens because I like to talk to you. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I was told to call. I didn't know. I just got a text like, "Hey, you want to call in?" I can't.
I texted Johnny saying, "Hey,
oh, so that's what you're doing? Try to book a little special show when I'm not around, huh? I get it. Oh, I was warned about the fucking kids lining up to put goddamn swords in my back. I was warned about this.
Sam Roberts.
I think his name is Rob Sammerts. That's what I'm starting to call him now. I don't know. We gotta, with our intern wants to go Seinfeld. I believe shave a male pattern baldness for Seinfeld trivia.
Going full Costanza.
And we haven't heard back from Mr. Roberts yet.
Yeah, I would like to hear what he has to say about it. I mean, we have a kid he's ready to go.
Marcus Hook thinks he knows more about Seinfeld than
yeah.
Maybe Travis doesn't. Maybe that was always a bullshit lie.
It could be.
All right, Johnny, good to talk to you, pal.
Later, boys and girls.
All right, bye. So he used to say later, boys, and now he just says boys and girls because he can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? He adds to it.
You can call me either.
You could be one of the boys.
I could be one of the boys. I mean, whatever.
You sometimes refer to guys as girls when you say you go girl to fucking Vito all the time.
I say girl all the time. Because I don't care when people says guy or dude or whatever to me. I'm like, girl, it's usually to say, girl, calm down.
That's funny.
Girl, relax.
I'm going to start to do that with Chris.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Hey, we got to, Barker just wrote, and you were supposed to book him even a long time ago to talk about his book, good stuff about the Giants, when the Giants were Giants. Back when, were you old enough to remember LT, Chris, the first...
My first memory of football is when the Bills lost with the bad kick. That was my first memory of football. So I don't really remember.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Baseball was always on in my house. Football was never on. But that Super Bowl was my first memory of football.
Now, people will remember that for like a great Super Bowl, but I just kind of remember it as a dramatic ending. Like, I don't remember much about the game other than there wasn't a lot of scoring. And I never thought he was going to make that kick. I mean, it was, when
it's
you
tough
get,
kick, right?
It's not tough, but when you get out over what it was, 45 yards or something, that's a 50-50 shot at best. Even today. I mean, there's guys that fucking miss PATs today.
Yeah,
I think the kicking has gotten worse.
I guess they moved back 5 yards, I think, 5 or 10, and that's just fucking throwing everything
For
off.
For a PAT?
Yeah.
It should be, I get what they want to do there. They want to fucking make a little excitement for the game, but I don't know. I don't know. There's something with football this year. It's just not clicking. It doesn't mean I'm not watching.
I watch the shit show every week, Ron. Every single week.
And someone wrote to me last week, well, you should be watching college. I do watch college. It fucking stinks compared to the pros.
I never watched college in the first place.
You had no reason to. I mean, if you went to a college with a big football team, go ahead and watch it forever. But
I went there. I fucking went there so many years ago.
Let's go, William and Mary.
I'm a booster.
Somebody did a joke years ago. I don't know who it was. but was saying like it's really embarrassing to see that Army lost to William and Mary, like a little couple from fucking Connecticut or something. I can't remember who did that. You know, there's a thing whenever you remember something funny just to give it to Carlin, but I think it was the guy with the fucking sledgehammer.
Gallagher.
No. Just Seinfeld. I think it was Seinfeld has used the sledgehammer before. He's had to break stuff up. And he had to put in tent pegs. Have you ever used the sledgehammer like to put in stuff like that?
Never.
So it's fucking, first of all, everyone wants to muscle the fucking sledgehammer,
Sure.
right? So we used to do this in the carnival where you'd have to put these things
Like
up.
the pins in the.
Well, yeah.
Rebar?
Yeah. What?
Rebar?
Rebar? What the fuck are you talking about?
That's like what you hold down like stakes and whatnot.
You hold down stakes.
I mean, hold down like a tent or whatever.
But what is the rebar?
It's like a piece of metal.
I didn't know it was called this. So we just was like fucking calling it 10 things. But two things. Number one, with a sledgehammer, you don't really swing it that hard. You just bring it up in gravity work itself.
Oh, shit.
But it's really about the fucking,
Accuracy?
Yeah, you got to be accurate. Because the first guy's holding that fucking peg while the other guy's bringing it down.
Shit.
And that's fucking hilarious. That's always funny. The second thing is, so the guy who we were fucking, in the carnival with, he's got a bunch of these things. Don't fuck up the sledgehammers. They're very expensive. This fucking kid I'm working with. And remember, we're fucking literally teenagers. He's bringing down the fucking sledgehammer. And he misses it. But the wood part catches the thing. And boom.
Oh, shit.
What are you guys so shitting about? Nothing fucking...
good.
Oh, God.
How would wood fucking hurt somebody? Why are you yelling?
I thought that you were saying like he smashed his hand.
No. Just calm down and listen to a fucking story.
Okay.
So he hits the top of it, and the fucking sledgehammer, the hammer part comes off, and he's just sitting there with a fucking stick. And no one, our boss, is going to fucking kill. I said, you got to take the sharp end of that and fucking shove it in your throat, because you're fucked. And he goes, like, I told you to do it. And I'm like, I'll fucking tell for you. I'll be glad to go in and tell him what you did. This is fucking hilarious to me. Why are you guys freaking out over
Because I thought you were
nothing?
saying it smashed his hand.
Why would his hand be? You know how long a fucking sledgehammer is?
I don't know.
You don't have an arm long enough to get the other thing out there.
I thought it was the person who was next to it, like holding
There was
it.
nobody. I'm trying to tell you a fucking amusing story about the top of a fucking sledgehammer
I don't
coming
know
off.
about all this stuff. I don't
Why
know
is
about
he following you
rebar.
down? Rebar.
Also, I think rebar is something like reinforced steel or something.
Rebar fucking confused the shit out of me.
Isn't that those?
Rebar. Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know what those things are.
It's rebar.
I was
You have to hold up a fucking tent.
Yeah,
There's no fucking
we were
spike
talking about
on it.
like the
It's just a
peg
fucking
or
piece of metal. Look at that.
So you knew one construction term and you wanted to
He
throw
knew
it
a
out.
piece of metal. Then he's
Allen
screaming.
wrench?
It's an Allen wrench, right? So a sledgehammer is like a giant Allen wrench?
Why are you saying shit? What? You know what?
Yeah.
Why don't you fucking call Johnny behind my back and try to do an exclusive fucking interview, you prick? What else were you doing?
Something I should have done is...
This is why you're alone at Thanksgiving. You know that?
I understand. I understand there's a reason.
So you can set it. Here's the thing about Thanksgiving. I found out with Chris. Nobody wants him there.
Oh God, that's sad.
Do you
I
even
really-
remember a big Thanksgiving dinner in your life?
It was the most people I've ever had at Thanksgiving dinner was me, my mom, and my dad, and my grandmother. That's it. I never met my grandfathers.
Wow.
You've only had
So four.
Four is the
biggest
max.
Thanksgiving.
And then it went down to 2. And then I had a couple of those.
And now you're at 1.
Now it's down to 1, Ron.
Wow.
really sad.
Why is it so sad? I think
just like-
you're
It's
okay.
sad.
Chris.
Thanksgiving is a time for friends and family.
Well,
And friends is an operative word there.
Like-
You can have friends at Thanksgiving.
My
Yeah.
parents didn't have any friends, and all the family.
I mean,
was
I
You
know.
haven't made any
You know what the
friends.
weird thing is? Like, I know so many people who can't make it home for the holidays, and they do friend Thanksgiving.
Oh, Friendsgiving.
Yeah, like I know,
Thanksgiving.
like
There's
they
it's not family giving. It's Thanksgiving.
and they spend it with their friends. Why don't you do that?
He would do, you know what he would do better than Thanksgiving? A day where we come together and give thanks. You do better at complaint giving, where you just sit around and bitch
Oh,
about
you'd be
the
good
world.
at that. Chris, I bust your balls, but this make me sad.
Why does it make everyone sad?
Well, look, I want you to, Gail, give us like any early Thanksgiving memories that you have. You know, we could turn this into a Tito's moment if you need to.
Okay, I would love to turn this
Because
into a
really,
Tito's.
between now and Christmas, I believe it's the thankful season.
Yes.
That's why I love that Hard Rock thing where we feed the listeners and stuff. We feed people that are actually pretty well off instead of just feeding the poor.
Well, you know, everybody has family traditions around the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever. To me, Thanksgiving is the biggest in my family. That's like our most important holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite tradition is driving to my grandparents every year. We go to see them on the Chesapeake Bay, and we drive down and we listen to Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie. And we do it every year. And we've
From
been
the Philly radio station, too.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a tradition that's been going on for a really long time now.
What's his name? Pierre Robert? Is that
Pierre
who he listens-
Robert, yeah, that's it.
And he plays 3 different types of, he works every Thanksgiving. And on our way down there, we always hear Alice's Restaurant. And people call from all around the country because they've been listening to him do this for a long time. And that's always on our way to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And that's been happening most of your life.
Yeah, most of my life. So it's weird because I'm sure it's similar to the way people maybe think about it for either Christmas or even New Year's when everyone's gathered around and you look at a year in review.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's kind of the most significant moment where I do that, where, you know, what has happened in this last year and what changes, what great things have happened or what hard things have we been through. And it's always at that time that I think about it.
It's really, really, to me, the sweetest of all. And you're missing out on that, Chris.
Yeah. And
You're
it's
missing out on your reflection.
And because it's strangely a political song, it always makes you think about where we are in the world.
That's true.
Politically, if there is a war going on, if it's a time of peace or something wonderful has happened, it kind of makes you step back and go, where are we at right now?
Yeah. And Chris, you're missing out on that.
I don't have it. This is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. Visit us at titosvodka.com.
What about for you, Vito? Ever have like a favorite Thanksgiving moment?
Actually, last year, one of the board ops here didn't have a place to go to for Thanksgiving because her family all lives in Texas and all of her roommates were gone. So she came with me and my family. And like, she's from just like suburb Texas and has never been around like a bunch of crazy Italian people. And just like seeing her have like a bunch of fun with us. She even came back to work for an hour and then came back to our dinner because she had such a good time with us. So it was cool seeing people enjoy my family as much as I do.
Did you get her?
No, it's just a friend.
Vito, did you
Is that your
her?
choice,
Did you
though?
close the deal?
Well, I still had a girlfriend at that time. So.
I thought you brought Stephen Banyan home and have him screaming at your mom because the gravy was a little cold.
It was one of my coworkers from that show.
I didn't sign up for this shit. Where other people might think that that's a bad thing, I think it's 100% positive.
You think it's good?
I love a host that cares enough to get pissed off that something happens. What I can't stand is a radio host who goes, the phones didn't work today, but we made the best of it. I'm like, do you care at all about this job? Do you give a shit? There's Chris right there. Let him know what you think.
Tell me.
Chris, why don't you go home? Why don't you be his girlfriend this year?
I don't want to go. I don't want to be hanging out with Leslie and Vito.
Why? That's so sweet. Look, Leslie's great.
Leslie doesn't like me.
There's no
That's
reason
your-
she should.
No,
You're
there
mean
isn't.
to her son.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why.
I called her rowdy yesterday.
I called it rowdy.
You called her rowdy and her son fatty, so you're not going to go over well.
Can I tell you something that was bad for me, though? Because you used to just busting balls, but people's moms were sitting right in front of us.
I know.
And then when I go like this to Vito about a shirt. Wait, that's a V-neck? And it gets this big laugh. You'd have to have been there at the time. But I looked over and I seen his mom not You know,
Not,
being like,
no,
they're
please.
laughing at my baby boy. And does she know we're laughing with you, right? She knows how much we love you.
No, she knows how much you guys love me, but that's why I didn't invite her to Comedy 101.
No. You killed that day.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
But I didn't want my mom running on stage when I was up there being like, hey, you guys stop ringing that bell and let my son finish.
Stop burning my son!
I'll go Fonzie on this entire room. She loves Fonzie.
Yeah, she can't get enough of the guy.
She's his number one fan, I heard.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable how much she likes
And then
him.
during an Unmasked, Fonzie mentioned her street or something, and she was starting talking back to the Unmasked. It's a really nice block. She's got a boyfriend now?
Yeah, she does.
I bet she does.
Nice.
They go out a lot?
Usually they do something on the weekend.
I bet they do all weekend, right? So you ever get a chance to stay over?
No, he's not staying over at the apartment.
No?
No.
Because you're there?
Maybe, probably.
Oh,
Vito,
you gotta let her
You
live.
gotta get out, bro.
Yeah.
Leslie needs hers.
Don't be this.
All right, come on now.
I'm
It
not
was
being
implied when I said it. It was implied, but you're taking it too far.
She and I have a very bad relationship.
Want you over Thanksgiving?
Not going to
Come on.
Are you
Thanksgiving.
I
going
would
to eat
like-
another turkey
it's-
club from the Bel Air Diner?
Love the Bel Air Diner. It's a great place.
We have a chicken parm appetizer.
Why don't you get together with the other Trump cucks? Hey, why don't you take that trip out to Phoenix, deep into the fucking desert, doing goddamn peyote?
Feels like a Thanksgiving in the desert doesn't seem like Thanksgiving. I feel like I need some cool air.
Dude, first of all, you got a broken window is the only reason why you think it's supposed to be cool. You know, it's for the second year in a row when we did that thing, we had a beautiful night. Remember we went out and
Yeah.
took pictures? It was a beautiful
Yeah.
night.
It's gorgeous out.
Why? Is it global warming?
Probably.
It must
It
be.
used to always be very, very cold around this time of year.
But it was just like last year. We went out on the marquee and we're like, wow, this is fantastic.
You know, this has been a nice, gentle changing of the leaves still.
Mm-hmm.
Still a lot of trees with leaves
Yeah.
in the city.
And that they're usually all gone by Thanksgiving.
Normally we have, dude, great, come here for 1 sec.
There's Connor.
Connor, first of all, come on over.
All right.
You're popping on the GPS, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, killing it.
Thank you.
are popping.
I love doing it, man. I love just doing it. Region.
Well, you've got it together. And then remember what we were saying? Remember, like, and I'm going to say who she is. One of our coworkers had a sister there who looked very much like her.
We're not going to say her.
We're not going to say her
who
name.
it is. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Her younger sister was very interested in you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I know what you're thinking, but I think that's incest.
Taboo,
Social.
though. Taboo.
yeah.
Social incest, not actual incest. But you were a hit that night as being a good-looking guy.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
very surprised. I was
No,
not expecting that.
There was also another intern, Marcus Hook, and a lot of the girls said, was he in my purse? They thought that he had opened up their purses. Remember how we put the comedians' purses and stuff in the green room?
Yeah.
Somebody had gotten in there and opened a bunch of them. I don't think he took it of anything of value.
You don't think it was Marcus, though, do you?
I know it was, because Johnny has a security tape, and I had to go in to steal it.
Good.
I had to take that big fucking tape out.
Good man.
I just ran a magnet along it.
Perfect.
Wasn't that the thing? If you run a magnet back and forth,
Yeah.
there's always a joke. Somebody would do it to Blockbuster.
Yeah, it would erase, and also on hard drives. You also erase a hard drive.
I don't know
with a
that.
Magnet. Yeah, magnets are bad for electronics.
What's good for electronics? Fucking plugs.
Power.
All right. Anyway, I know we don't want to keep you,
Yeah.
Thank
but
you.
you're doing a bang up job on the GPS.
Thank you so much.
You're going to be there when we record them. You're the fucking creative guy.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
Awesome.
Great work. Thank
Good.
you so much.
I'll see you guys on Monday.
And then I want to talk to you about the Icon Show because you're ready to move over to that.
Awesome. I am
Chris,
the best.
you're being moved out. I got a new fucking Chris coming on.
Jesus
And he's got a family.
Well, that's well.
What are you reading?
Congratulations. Oh, we should take a break. We have some live reads to do.
We'll be right back. Bennington.
It's Bennington Show.
It is the Bennington Show.
Surprised you didn't know that.
Oh, I know. I just didn't want to say.
Can you not touch my stuff, Chris?
bam. I got to tell you this. I want to take a break from the election.
Okay.
I don't want to hear about it every day. I don't want to see the news. I'm going to give Trump, some time to settle in. I don't care if his transition's going smooth or not. He ain't starting yet.
You and Oprah both are going to give him a shot.
I came up with this before Oprah. Her thing is, I get to save some money.
Yeah, that's her motivation. We can all take a deep breath now.
That's a pretty good Oprah. Do that to Thanksgiving.
It's over, though.
I just had a hiccup. Let's see if there's anything to talk about out there in this world of ours.
It's a crazy world we live in.
Who are these 3 female-driven comedies to get season 2 pickups? I've never even heard this story. Nobody knows?
Yeah, it's who's the 3 who are on the list?
I have no idea.
Tignataro.
Right.
Wait, what's she on?
I don't know.
She's got her own show. Tig has her own show.
On what channel?
It's called One Mississippi. It's on Amazon Prime, I think.
I say I don't get Amazon Prime. What else?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Divorce. Got picked up for another season.
I am a fan of that, but something happened the other night. It kind of threw me off. The guy that I'm comfortable hating did something incredibly nice.
And so now you're like, now what?
Now what do I do? Am I on his side? I don't want to feel sorry for him.
Now, this coming week, the episode that is airing, I was there for the shooting of one of the scenes.
Were you an extra?
I was not an extra. I was there with my buddy Tom Sharpling, who's a writer on the show.
Wait, Tom has to be there every day it's being shot?
He was there every day, yeah.
I didn't know writers did that.
Yes, so there are writers on set to make sure that
fix lines or whatever.
Or to make sure that like the through line of the story continues, or to answer any questions.
I guess if you change one line, then you might end up having to change lines all over.
Exactly.
Do you know, your mom knows a character actor who is a background actor in a lot of the construction scenes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like he's not just walking by. He's right next to the guy talking,
right.
But he doesn't say anything. He's just drinking his coffee and nodding and stuff. But he gets a lot of work. He just got offered Narcos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Background. And they go like this, you have a passport? We might be flying you down to Colombia.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
That's serious.
As far as I know, I never think he gets to do anything. Now, Insecure is the other, and I haven't seen it yet. And it comes on right after Divorce. My problem is this. I got Westworld. I got Last Man in the fucking on the planet, and then I'm back and I'm doing Divorce, and I got football the same night. It's a little too much, but I want to watch this Insecure.
Yeah, I have so much going on. I haven't even caught up with my Sunday shows from this week because I had a really crazy weekend, and then we had the Thanksgiving show. I feel totally lost. I'm not even caught up with the shows I do watch, and then I got people being like, you haven't seen Atlanta yet? I'm like, God damn it. I
haven't seen Atlanta yet either.
I'm drowning over
I saw
here.
Black Mirror last night that scared the shit out of me.
Really?
Which one?
The one where you're being watched.
Oh, and you're given tasks?
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much for the people I haven't seen.
I haven't seen it, Chris.
That one, I thought it was I'm up to that one. I thought that was the best of the new season so far.
I already got spoiled that there's going to be tasks of some nature. I don't even think I'm going to watch it.
I'm telling you, I watched it and I was a fucking wreck.
It was terrifying. It was hard. And there was a Game of Thrones actor in there.
Who?
The
Spoil
older
that,
dude
please.
who was with
the driver?
The driver, yeah.
That fucking guy was incredible.
He's awesome. He's great in the show, too.
Is who? On Game of Thrones?
Bronn. Tyrion's buddy.
Oh, love that guy.
So I'm watching that, and I'm like, I said to my chick, I go, I don't know who this fucking dude is.
He's awesome.
But let me just say that. He's awesome. See, I was going to say he's
you
awesome.
spoiled something else. Now the awesome and the tasks.
But there's some guys,
ruined.
there's a certain good look, and I think even women like this. A guy who looks like he's been beat up so much that his face is a little disfigured.
Oh, yeah. I like a broken down piece of meat.
Oh, yeah. That's
I'm not
the
gonna
best.
lie.
It just looked like, and I couldn't see for a fact, but it looked like most of his fingers have been broken or even shattered at one point.
Yeah.
He's a rough and tumble guy.
I like a dude who's got just like a little haggard. It's a good look.
It is a good look. He's good in this. So if you catch up, you're going to like that. Well, I don't know if you like it. You might feel like me, sick to your stomach. Carrie Fisher said that Harrison Ford stunk in bed. I mean, just fucking brought nothing to the table. Now, she said, I was 19, so I wasn't fucking good either.
Right.
But he was much older. And he should have fucking brought something in.
He should have brought the effort. I mean, that I think might be more embarrassing. I don't know that. Yeah, this would have to be for a man to answer. Would you rather somebody say he had a small penis, or would you rather somebody say he sucked in bed? What would be more?
First of all, this is a Sophie's choice like I've never heard before. Because here's the problem with both of those. You can't defend yourself.
No.
Right? So when Tom Arnold was said, Roseanne said Tom Arnold had a small dick. And everybody was laughing at Tom Arnold. I'm like, you fucking married him, bitch. It was such a fucking problem. You got that dick before. But then Tom Arnold said this. And this was this is one of my favorite lines of all time. He goes, even a 747 looks small if it's sitting in the Grand Canyon. That was a fucking hilarious line. But saying that you're bad in bed is horrifying.
Right.
It's probably worse than saying you have a small penis.
Because it means you're dull, maybe you're selfish.
Right.
You just you don't know what you're doing.
But by the way, when you're saying bad in bed, I've heard that guys who have porn dicks are considered by a lot of women to be bad in bed because they just think that the dick is going to fucking...
The dick does all the work is what they're thinking.
Yeah, they're like, here's the dick. Enjoy yourself.
That, right?
Enjoy.
Vito, small dick, bad in bed. Both have been said about you. Which hurts more?
I mean, I look at myself as like a grower, not a shower. So neither.
You have to make one choice.
I don't want to take one of those.
You have to pick which would be worse for you.
Oh, which would be worse for me? Definitely bad in bed because you could deal with a small dick. I mean, I've seen small dick porn.
True.
So you say you can deal with your small dick, but bad in bed hurts.
Yeah.
Chris, you've never had sober sex. So as far as you know, you're terrible in bed.
You can have sex sober?
Yeah.
That's impossible.
His nickname in high school, in his yearbook, was Whiskey Dick.
You know what? That makes this really sad because I know how long you've been sober since you quit drinking. That's heartbreaking.
You know that he's taking some Chris time. I'm sorry, piss time.
I want to focus on me, Piss Stanley, the Trump cock. I need to work on myself.
How is Trump Cuck moving along for you right now? Is it doing okay?
It feels good. Yeah, there's a new banner up on the on the Trump Cuck Twitter.
Oh, let me see it.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I saw it. I saw it last night.
I gotta follow the Trump Cuck. Oh, nice banner.
Yeah, with my boy McCuck Trump.
All right, so you're just starting out your Twitter.
Yeah.
You've only put up one thing?
Just one thing so far.
Trump Cucks America, and I was there. Hashtag Trump Cuck. And so here's what you got to start doing, commenting on the news. I'm going to try to teach you how to be a news hound. But the other thing you got to do is you've got to always pick a celebrity, whether it's from politics or wherever.
Okay.
And put an @ on that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you got to hey, @ Michael Moore. You just got cocked by Trump. Better get used to it.
Hashtag Trump cock.
Yeah.
You like that shit, Maury?
How do you like being Trump's bitch? Hashtag Trump cock.
This is what you wanted, isn't it?
You know where Trump's going to grab you, and there's nothing your husband can do about it. Hashtag Trump cut.
Except the pussy.
Don't go that far, Chris.
Gotcha.
Every fucking time.
What did you just... Why did... He just crossed something out, so that leads me to believe the word pussy was already on that paper.
Except the... I won't do that. I won't be crude.
Don't be crude with your Trump cock tweets.
Now answer the question. Would you rather have a girl spreading rumors about you, small dick or bad in bed?
Small dick, because then at least I'm fucking, at least I made you come, lady.
Well, she didn't say that. She just says he has a small dick.
I know what happened.
Can I just say this? If someone says you have a small dick, they're insinuating you're bad in bed.
Yeah, that's the problem.
They're insinuating you're not a pleaser.
Because very rarely is there a follow-up. Sometimes there is.
Yeah.
Sometimes a girl will say, I'm small, but I had a good time. You know what I
She
mean? I'm
never
not gonna lie.
says that in public.
But
She might say it to other ladies.
They say it to women. But for the most part, that conversation ends with size. It's just like, this is the size. And all the ladies go, okay, I see what you were working with here.
I know a guy who was a rock and roller, and the ladies were crazy about him, right? And then the rumor came out about his small dick, and a girl said to me it was like putting a temp on him. She said,
Really?
"Does that smell like one of the
Oh, God.
incredible smells?"
There was a guy on my college campus who it was notorious. So he was a popular guy.
Yeah.
Everyone knew him, and it, like micro penis.
But do you think that there's the same amount of people who have a porn dick? There's also the same amount that have a micro penis.
I feel like there's got to be more porn dicks than micro peni.
How do you? Why would you figure that?
I don't know. Probably because of all the porn I watch. I don't watch a lot of micro porn.
There's not going to be a lot of micro porn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
It's not- that's a
not
very
a way to make a living.
That's very specific fetish, if it is even one.
I heard it about Giuliani.
I believe it.
I don't. I thought he had a big fucking hog.
I mean, if we go by that,
Italian.
if
By
we
the way-
go by that Trump statue,
Yeah, I can't go by that though. Adrian said this. I'm sorry. I can't handle all these sad Chris family-less stories. It breaks my heart. You got to make up a fake family for yourself so the listeners feel better.
Okay, there's my brother, Gary. Love him.
See? Oh,
Gary.
Gary's with the Secret Service now.
Gar.
Oh, Gary, yeah, I'm going to go up to Westchester. I'm going to spend Thanksgiving with Gary.
Aw, and his family?
Yeah, his big family.
Oh, that's
There's
sweet.
Lisa, his wife, and the twins. Gary Jr.
And
Lisa Jr.
dude, no one says Junior for a girl. There's something
Why
about this
not?
story I'm not
We've been calling
believing.
her Junior.
We call her Junior.
Love
Short
Lisa.
for Dwayne.
You met her at college. They went to Brown.
Dude, that should have been one of your fucking impressions.
I know.
Or the other one from that. Did you
Which
do
one?
that hat? You gave him a dip tip?
You're gonna get his dip tat. You gotta do that high. She's busy with this little angel. What happens if your brains are splattered all over the interstate or taken up by a twister?
All right, we have our first celebrity following Trump cock. Amy Miller.
Yes.
She's
That's a get.
She's McCuck.
That is a get.
All right,
Does
you're
that
the
mean
cock though?
Yeah, all right, see, I'm the Trump cuck.
this is what doesn't make sense?
But then
I've
I also
tried-
have McCucks out there. It's like a...
So are you cucking them or just they're cucked by Trump? You're all cucked by
We're
Trump.
all cucked by Trump. And I'm the head Trump cuck. Hashtag Trump cuck.
You'd be the house cock.
I'm the house
Oh
cuck.
boy. God, if Amy Miller followed him, does that mean I have to too?
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be.
And
What would Amy do?
I also like to say, keep on cucking.
That's good.
I do like that.
Keep on cucking.
That I actually like.
See?
I like a pun.
Fun of what?
Cuck, yeah.
Archie.
Yo, Ronnie, dude, $1 million.
Million.
Hey, I got to get in on this the small dick conversation. There's no choice here. You cannot come back from being told you got a small dick. You could have had a bad day in bed. You might have been sick, but there's no coming back from a small dick.
That's actually good.
It is a good
You
point.
could have been off your game. You know.
You should never be off your game in that area, though.
But
I
it might be easy to even blame on the other partner. Like somebody comes back, like I heard you suck in bed, and they're like, "Hey, she sucks in bed."
a lot of women, and this you could say it's not their fault, but a lot of women are dead fucks.
It just
And they
like
need to
lay.
they just lay there like a fucking coma victim.
To be honest, I think that this should be included in sex education. I think everybody should have that education as a youngster.
Right.
You're like, you don't want to be bad at it.
Yeah. And certainly don't wince at any fucking point. I mean, get into it. Stop fucking wincing.
Stop looking at me with those dead eyes.
We got to get a keep on cucking meme going.
Keep on
Chris,
cooking.
what I'd like you to do is try to get your foot up. Get a shot of you with the big foot
All right.
up.
Mhm.
So it looks exactly like the keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Look at the keep on trucking.
I love Keep on Trucking, guy.
I know.
He's like one of my favorite dudes.
Well, keep on cucking could be that guy.
Like,
You got to
what?
stretch the fuck out and get a
All right,
nice
I
big.
got you. Like,
Let's see.
Like that.
But you
need
need a
shoot.
lower.
I'm gonna get a boot. I think
You need a
boot will
big
look good.
boot
And you need somebody laying
and a
on the ground
low
to shoot
angle,
that. Yeah.
and then like this stance.
Yeah.
Almost like he's the whiz stance.
No, the foot goes forward, not down to the side.
Where is it? Where are you putting that foot?
Here, I'm gonna go out over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see your
Let's get your keep on
keep on
tucking.
cooking.
Bro, now I'll have a boot on for the shoot, but this is just a shoe. An Air Force One.
No,
He's
look like
he's
him. You don't
he's
look like you're walking.
You have to look. You're not just like pose like a
Here's what
weirdo.
you do.
He's
Instead of
trucking.
posing, try to make your foot go out first, like you're walking.
right.
But your foot, you got no extension. Get your foot out high and then bring it down. There you go.
Oh.
That's closer.
Got it.
Right.
That's closer. You know, you're going to be lying on the ground for this.
Keep on cooking.
Keep cooking like the Trump cuck man. You're cooking. Send me in our guy Marcus Hook.
And while he's on his way here, don't you have something to give out to a
first responder.
first responder?
From the Bert Kreischer Unmasked. They're going to win a signed Bert Kreischer Unmasked poster.
I hope I get this.
The winner is at TXMX. At TXMX, they're the winner of a signed Bert Kreischer Unmasked poster.
Yeah! Congrats,
It's a collector's item.
TX.
There's only two in the world.
Ow!
Marcus Hook, how are you, buddy?
Excellent.
Now, I know you've put out about you being the best Seinfeld person in the world.
No doubt.
And I told you that SiriusXM already has somebody, our own Travis.
I've heard about this Travis. We've discussed this Travis.
Right.
Why doesn't he do a Disney trivia contest? Have you seen this guy's desk?
No.
He's got Disney paraphernalia all over the place.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
I
you've
didn't
been
know.
checking out the desk.
He's
You
a
see
Disney guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's weird.
I heard he jerks off to Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Hey, hold on.
All right?
God,
He didn't know
you
shit
came
about
in-
Seinfeld.
You came in hot on this. I didn't expect it.
Jeez.
I'll make it hot.
And you know what? That was actually my third question. Small dick, bad and better, jerks off to Bell.
Travis has all three.
Whoa.
Small dick. No Seinfeld. The first time you watched Seinfeld was on TBS, ladies and gentlemen. He hasn't been in since the early days.
So you watched the first run?
Are you kidding me? I've been in since '89. I'm older than most interns, perhaps, but that helps me in some areas.
It does.
All right.
It does.
I mean,
What? What do you mean, Marcus?
we put this thing up, right? I'm supposedly going to lose my hair, which is not going to happen, but I'm going to be good looking with or without hair. He's ugly no matter what.
Oh, snap,
So
son.
you're really going for your mama jokes here.
I bring the ruckus in the Seinfeld biz. And yes, that was a reference to another Seinfeld related show, but Travis wouldn't know that. I bring the ruckus. That's a connection to a Seinfeld related. He's not going to know that.
I didn't know. Did you, Chris?
I have no idea.
I brings the ruckus. It's
No.
Seinfeld related. Let's see if he can figure out how.
Okay.
Because he can't.
Doesn't sound like he can. He's just too busy watching Disney films.
You ever see Jerry Seinfeld in a running contest?
Yeah.
He always wins. He does whatever he has to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are. That's where I am in this situation.
So
but I
you're-
don't have to cheat. I'll bring it.
This is a foot race
But I
of
will
the
if I have
mind.
to. You just won't know it.
All right. So
Jesus Christ.
these are getting a little, lighter as we're going along. Now, from what I understand, Travis has accepted.
Yes.
When and where and what are the rules? Is that something that I'm supposed to talk to Sam about?
Yeah, we're going to hash all that out, but he has accepted the hair
Now,
shaving.
did he accept in a way that sounded confident, or
I'm sure he didn't.
I'd like to see or hear his acceptance.
Vito's getting the audio.
He's going to want to show his face as much as Michael Richards did after the N-word incident. Let's put it that way. That's how popular he's going to be around these halls.
that's good stuff?
Wow, N-word incident.
Hey, John, Wyoming.
Hey there, Ronnie. Hey, I was wondering if you guys are seeing the reports coming out that election night Hillary Clinton was in a drunken rage, throwing shit, losing her mind. It was crying inconsolably to where she couldn't even come out to do her concession speech.
Well, I figured she had to have been fucking crushed. There was. Look, Donnie Deutsch works here, right? And I was watching him on TV, And he was like, you think she'll get 400? Will this be a landslide? Will she, you know what I mean? So I don't think she had any inkling she was going to lose this. And 4 years ago, we were in the same situation with the Republican. He didn't think he was going to lose at all. He didn't even write a concession speech.
And
so it's got to be devastating. I mean, look how much time and money and work they put into this.
Yeah, and also it's confusing for good reason because she won the popular vote by such a large number. At this point, now that, you know, we're farther along with tallying all these votes.
It's like 2 million, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's larger at this point, I believe, than what Gore won by, the popular vote.
Right, but also Gore must have been crushed.
Sure.
That night, too.
But I'm saying that could have led to why it was so confusing, because she does actually have the majority.
Yeah, but you have to win the Electoral College. And I've talked about this before. I know a lot of people hate it, but the election night is not the time to talk about that. And I get why we have it. I get that you don't want to just act like city people are the only ones who get to decide. Now, if people turned around and said, let's go straight fucking, you know, most popular, right? All you would see probably is speeches in New York, L.A., Chicago, St. Louis, Philadelphia. You're not going to get the, you know, the state fair thing that Trump jumped into.
Yeah. And normally for those cities, you don't see any attention. Like, you barely get ads. Even towards the end, you get like a couple
You're
ads.
Right. Not one of those cities is going to get a lot of attention. But it's, you know, it's a city versus country thing where we are right now. So did you find it, Vito?
Yeah, I sent it to Chris.
Bringing it up now.
This is stuff you guys should be doing before the show, huh?
Yes. Okay, here's Travis accepting.
We're not even listening. We don't have no idea what he said. Okay. Go ahead.
Here's the problem. Bennington has an intern who's got quite a mouth on him. I heard him. He's not a respectful guy. He's got quite a mouth on him. He thinks he knows more about Seinfeld than Travis, and he's challenged Travis to a Seinfeld trivia contest where the loser will have to shave male pattern baldness into their head.
I'm going to have to start watching this show. Do you know a lot about it?
I mean, yeah.
Kramer's first name.
He doesn't have one trick question.
Jim was right on that one. Sorry, dude. You're really going to have to do a lot of homework.
Yeah, that's a really insider thing.
All right, he's downplaying this.
Okay, I see what this is.
Quite a mouth?
What's that?
He said I have quite a mouth.
Oh, yeah, Sam said you have quite a mouth on you. You're disrespectful.
I don't care what he said. I might have quite a mouth, but I'm going to whip his ass with this mouth of mine.
Oh.
All right?
Oh, whip it with your mouth.
Yeah, whip it low. And by the way, I heard Travis, my alleged opponent, say that his favorite Seinfeld character, Chandler.
Oh, so you... Oh,
this guy doesn't know... He knows nothing.
I think you got to be careful. I think he's slow playing.
I think this is a rope-a-dope.
I'm not being lulled into anything here. This guy
is
doesn't
a
have a chance.
rope-a-dope. You got to be careful, dude.
The only dope around here is Travis.
Let me tell you, you got quite a mouth on you, my friend.
That's
quite
right.
a mouth.
A mouth that's going to whip ass, apparently.
I'm still confused by that statement.
Oh, my God.
All right, so I didn't hear him say yes, he would do it.
Yeah. Was he scared? Travis, are you scared of me?
He's not here.
Are you scared? I'm getting this on the record. Are you scared to take me on, Travis?
I
would be if I were you.
He says yes in the clip, and I was also told by one of the producers of the team, Travis is willing to talk to us tomorrow.
And he's going...
He's backing out, I bet.
Are you sure you know Seinfeld trivia?
I've won contests all over the city. Where does Travis live, by the way?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
I mean, he's just a nice, friendly guy we all like.
I feel like he's a Jersey guy.
Known him for like 11 years.
Jersey guys don't know anything about Seinfeld. You know what I do in my spare time? Take people on tours around this town?
Yeah.
Seinfeld tours. Sometimes.
There's only one place to take them.
Monks?
Yeah, there's nothing else.
Not even called Monks.
Even the buildings weren't here.
121 West 81st Street.
Yeah, but they the picture itself.
3B.
Yeah, but the picture is from out in L.A. That's not a New York building.
I tell people that, but I also point out places where things from the show happen. Can you imagine if I'm walking around with a bald head when I'm doing my tours?
But hold on.
It's not going to happen.
There's You're not going to say this took place at this address, but it wasn't really here. It was in L.A. This is a bad tour, is what I'm saying.
When we go through the park, I can say, this is where Rusty, didn't I call him Rusty the cuck horse last time? The bum cuck horse?
You call him a bum cuck.
This is where Kramer took Rusty the horse out. Or Travis, if you must.
You know what's funny? There's not even a line at Soup Nazi anymore.
I know.
55th and 8th? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm referring
I
to.
hope a lot of these are going to
55th and
be
8th?
cross street related.
Do you know what his real name is? Al Yagana.
Okay, just don't
All right,
leave it
don't-
here,
yeah,
dude.
like-
Giving out too
Don't
much.
fucking-
Yeah,
you see how
don't-
I'm
he's still
confident.
Yeah. You need to rope a dope back.
I'm going to blow through him like Mike Tyson. Screw this
Okay,
rope-a-dope stuff. I'm talking about black shorts Mike Tyson.
Before the TV show Seinfeld started, right? Jerry had a job. What was it?
Stand-up comedian.
Yep.
Okay.
He's right.
Whoa.
He's right.
Back to feeling confident.
And if you go back and look, you'll see him performing stand-up comedy before even the show.
I have a feeling that he's going to whip his ass with his mouth.
I know you
You know what I don't understand?
What's now?
Why anyone thinks they can beat me in Seinfeld trivia. You know what I don't understand? Holy shit.
I understand what you're saying. And I'm starting to think that you're going to win this. I think Travis probably should back out.
The confidence.
But you're giving away too much.
Yeah, stop saying things you know.
Stop giving away, because all these...
What do you want me to do? Just meditate over here
Well,
when this guy's challenging my prowess?
I understand, but if we put the things together, none of these things are going to be questions now.
Yeah.
We're not going to, like...
Don't tell him stuff you know.
Nazi's real name would have been good.
That would have been a great one.
Love that question.
There's probably only 2 or 3 people in the world who know that, and I'm one of them. So
Wow.
there's no way whoever's writing these questions knows that.
Jesus.
That brings the ruckus.
I don't know
Travis.
what that's from.
Seinfeld.
Should I reveal it?
Yeah.
There's a program on HBO that the head writer of Seinfeld and producer of Seinfeld is associated with. This is a trivia question, everyone. Do you know what it's called?
He was what?
Game of Thrones?
What is he?
He's a bald man who was the executive producer and head writer of the Seinfeld show.
There was a guy that wrote for Seinfeld who was bald.
Correct.
Okay.
I Brings the Ruckus is a line from his program.
So you're not even doing it from Seinfeld.
No, it's associated. All right, fine.
We're not going to be doing
I was in a
Curb Your
Seinfeld trivia. Right. I was in a Seinfeld trivia contest.
Don't bring up Seinfeld trivia contest. Lay back.
All right.
Travis.
Fine.
Let me tell you something. Travis is a really good guy. I mean, you guys can have a trivia contest without yelling about the other person.
Seems like he can't. Marcus can't.
I don't know if I can, man. I'm a competitive guy. If this was a Disney contest, I'd still whip his ass, by the way. I don't even know anything about Disney.
What are you doing in his office looking at his desk? Because I've never once seen his desk. Like I said, I've worked with him for like 11 years.
Well, you know, I did steal people's I went into people's handbags allegedly. So
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that from quite a
No one said I was good looking at that thing, by the way. I was walking around thinking I was the best looking guy around.
A lot of people said you look like Carla's wife from Cheers. It was Carla's husband from Cheers.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice.
We should be
Another
doing
NBC
Cheers.
program.
We should. Oh, that's good.
Great.
Fuck, dude.
That is good.
Man.
Save it.
So does that mean I'm good looking or bad looking? I don't know what to tell you.
I think very, very good looking.
Oh, extremely.
Are we off the Seinfeld thing? Because I want to tell you what the funniest thing that happened at that thing was. Because if I'm not trying to steer the conversation, but
It seems like you are. I've never had a nerve to say, "Are you done with your shit?"
no.
Because
I'm asking.
All right, but
There
it
was
can't
a
be a
special
spoiler-
moment.
You can't be a spoiler alert for the people who haven't heard
Is it
it.
going to
yet.
spoil anything that happened during the show?
Let's just change the subject.
You just tell us off air. That's
You tell us off air, and then
It was hilarious.
okay.
But it's not as hilarious as the ass whooping that's going to be put on Travis.
Hold on.
He
You know
is
what?
hungry.
I want to hear the Seinfeld opening, and we got a couple guests coming in, right?
Yeah, we have comedians Evan Williams and Scott Chaplin coming in.
Do we got a break first?
Yeah, we should break first.
All right, let's take the Seinfeld in the break. We'll be back with more comedy. Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington.
Thanks.
Evan Williams and Scott Chaplin are in studio. Evan's performing at Fit Comedy in Philly on Monday, November 21st at 8 p.m. And you can see Evan at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City Friday, November 25th at 7 p.m. And Scott's performing at the Standing Room in Long Island City all weekend long. Go to Standing Room LIC for more information.
You did that very conversationally.
Thank you.
Instead of like a plug, it was like I was having a conversation.
Like a human?
Yeah, I didn't need it though. I don't want to have a conversation.
Okay, good.
Just do the plugs.
Got it.
Good to see you guys.
How are you, Ron? Nice to be here.
Good to see you.
Last time I saw you, you were in a vicious fight with each other.
Right.
To see
Ripping each other apart.
who but you're best buddies, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Really
But
best.
the ugliness of this fight.
Yeah.
Nobody could believe
It
it.
was therapeutic. It was nice.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff clearly bubbling under the surface, you know?
Well, you both have such fucked up lives.
Yeah,
Terrible
I guess
lives.
so. Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Now, let's go over the past. Let's see what's got the worst
This
childhood.
is just therapy. He just cares
Oh,
about
man.
us.
All right. Evan, you want to go first?
All right, you want to just have like a
Back
child
and
off?
forth.
Go back and forth.
All right, let's go back and forth.
Yeah.
Dueling banjos, which
Yeah.
is
Well,
dueling
he's got
bad
more dead
lives.
people. He's
Right.
got more dead people.
I do
It's a
have more
fact.
dead people.
Yeah.
His mother's dead. My dad's dead.
Yes. And
Way
then
worse
how'd
to have
your
a dead
dad
mother
die?
than a dead dad, I think.
Then let's go. Yeah, I'm going to agree.
Absolutely.
You expect to have your dad die. You don't expect
Yeah.
to have your mother die.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So far I'm winning.
Yeah.
If you can call that winning.
His brother's dead. My sister's alive. So,
Okay.
yeah.
My brother was born with a terminal illness. He was 11 years older than me, and he died when he was 28, and I was 18. And this is hilarious so far.
It's like, who cares, you know?
The battle continues.
I mean, my sisters are alive, but one of them was a go-go dancer.
Okay.
Which, you know,
I wasn't going to bring that
been
up
a
on
lot
the radio.
of a lot of prayers.
Threw it right
for
under the
death and
bus.
stuff, but
Yeah. And then what? You got an
And
uncle who
you're-
died.
yeah, I mean, like my cousin hung himself and stuff, but that's nothing.
But that got brought up as a comedic piece
It
during
did,
the
yeah,
roast.
which was very funny.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting it. Because no one knew that besides him, I think.
Now,
Right, he told me in confidence. I mean, he told me also with the confidence that I would say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted that to be known.
Right.
Your mother was kind of crazy. She's a psychopath.
Yeah, she had mental illness.
Is that fair to say? She had mental illness,
yeah,
right?
she was mentally ill.
Now, you worry that that's going to drip down to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
You
I
really think
about
that?
it.
You never told me that, man.
I mean, yeah, I think about it. I definitely I think about it. I wanted one thing for you not to shit on me for on the show.
How did she show her mental illness?
Through suicidal threats and throwing stuff and crying and screaming and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you growing up, a very fragile thing for a kid.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, my father was a drunk.
True. Also a cop.
So it was a lot of like suicidal threats, but it's just like he doesn't mean this. It's
Right.
just he's drunk right now.
Yeah.
And he was a cop?
He was a cop, yeah. I was actually thinking about this morning for some reason, that it got so bad at a moment in my life that I was afraid to go outside of my room at night. So I would bring in like a big, large McDonald's cup in my room, just in case I had to piss. I'd piss in the McDonald's cup and then throw it out the window so I wouldn't have to see him at night. You know?
I did that, but out of laziness. I didn't have to go down 2 floors to get to a bathroom.
I did that out of drunkenness. We all did that for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're scared of your drunk dad,
Yeah, I wasn't afraid of him hitting me or anything. Just intense, confrontation.
well, you know what? Why we're doing this, I'm going to think I got you guys beat out with my own Chris Stanley.
Hey, guys.
First of all, his dad was a junkie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell
snap.
yeah.
Good for you, man.
Chris,
Thanks.
talk to me, baby.
But here's the beauty of his life, and I've never met another person. It depresses the audience. But he doesn't have a living family member.
No shit.
Yeah, they're all dead.
I mean, how many did you have to start with?
There was an uncle that had a heart attack. But that was when I was really young. But then just my grandmother, one grandmother, and parents. That's it. That's the only
he
family I ever
grew
met.
up. He's never been at a Thanksgiving with more than 4 is his record.
Including you?
Yeah, including him.
Oh,
including
man.
little Christopher.
Wow. So what are you doing this Thanksgiving?
Not sure yet.
Wow. This is where we invite you, but we're not invited.
He's had a lot of offers.
Yeah.
But no, you're not taking any of them?
None. No offers.
Wow.
Man.
How'd your parents die?
Father died from let me think, because he was homeless for a while.
Hard living.
Yeah, hard living. I mean,
Okay,
dope
there you
and
go.
booze,
Yeah.
and
Right.
and then it just caught up to him.
I mean, he didn't have the kind of dad that they were going to go, oh my God, he's dead, let's do an autopsy.
Oh, no. I mean, it was obvious.
Out to Potter's Field.
Yeah.
He went.
And then my mom died of liver cancer.
Wow. All right. So
Wow.
that's just regular. Yeah.
You're like the Punisher. Everybody's dead.
Yeah.
But you can't like take it out on a villain. It's all like natural stuff.
Yeah, just all their own personal choices.
He takes it out on himself.
Oh man.
I guess substances. You can attack substances.
Yeah.
You can attack liquor stores and drug dealers.
Oh man.
It is funny how like a liquor store is a heavily like loved thing in this country, or a bar, but the drug dealer is the most evil thing that
monster,
we
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're taking advantage of people and just giving them things they don't need.
Yeah. But you know, our friend Fuck was in, and he's a Reformed junkie, and
His name's Fuck.
yeah, he's also
name, of course, he's a junkie.
I don't think, you know what? He might have got it from friends. No. I never asked him. I'm sure his name is Tim.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not his Christian name?
But we were like talking in front of an audience, like how good heroin feels, and I could see how freaked out they were. But you know, and
It's got to be the greatest feeling in the
it's
world.
unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you've done heroin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be the best.
But you spend your time almost immediately like, I should do a lot of heroin.
Yeah.
This feels so good. But people don't want to believe. They want to believe it's a nightmare from Jump Street.
Of course,
You know,
yeah.
but it's just like crazy pussy.
It's heaven.
You got to explain, like, I know. But you don't know the other part of it. Here's the unbelievable good feeling. But how old were you when you knew that your dad was a junkie, Chris?
I think it was when in 7th grade, because he came out of the bathroom.
He came out. That's nice.
with a needle hanging out of his arm.
Get out of here.
Jesus, man.
Yeah. And I was like, "There's something. This isn't a normal childhood."
But you didn't think he had diabetes?
No, because I don't think fucking medication smelled like fucking heroin or coke methadone, or whatever the fuck he was doing.
Was he rude, or like was he just like?
He had the nods for the most part of our relationship.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
That's not that. Every time someone like there's kids who are like, yeah, my mother's a drunk, but it's like she just gets drunk on wine and she's friendly.
Right.
I don't care about that. Who cares?
Well, the thing about a junkie, they're not bad people. Like, they're either in the nods or they got an appointment. They got to go somewhere right away. That's the thing. Like, there's no such thing as a lazy junkie. They are always off to fucking meet somebody.
Yeah. They get the call, man. They're running. Yeah, for sure.
You're fucking running and you're the first one there. You know, you're like, I'm 25 minutes later. Where is this fucking guy?
Yeah.
Come on.
My thing with cocaine, so I was always running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when I didn't have it, I was just running. Heroin, I've only done like heroin-based stuff. I did a bunch of heroin-based ecstasy.
Right.
And like, the difference between like meth-based ecstasy and heroin-based ecstasy is with the meth-based, you just want to run around and like, like have sex and stuff like that. But with the heroin-based, you just want to lay still, and it feels amazing if you lay still.
Isn't that is the weirdest thing? Like, there's got to be, you're tapping into some heaven feeling, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you could get addicted to heaven. You know what I mean? Like, very quickly. Like, you don't want to do anything but be in heaven. That's it.
Right.
That's kind of what a good drug is like. But now, it's in the sticks because Oxy, people get morphine-based stuff.
Well, up on the iBang, there's you've seen these Adam Ruins Everything thing.
Yeah,
so
Conover,
so he did a piece that it was like America's love of legal drugs, because I always find that really interesting that people will differentiate. Like, oh, heroin.
Terrible.
I could never do that. But,
Vicodin or
of course.
Yeah, and then they joke, like, even on ladies' TV shows, like Kelly in the Morning, she'll be like, I got some Vicodin, and everybody was like, I love that.
Just snort
it.
That's where you
don't snort it.
That's where you cross the line. Yeah, but you're right.
Yeah.
You do that.
I mean, like, Oxy is insane.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's absolutely insane.
This is heroin, basically.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's
pure.
Now more expensive.
And I was given it after an injury, and not really knowing what was given to me. It was just, I was in incredible pain, so I was just like, okay, this is whatever. And I was like, oh, this is like really bad. Like, immediately I knew I had just done something bad. I was like, wow.
It felt great though, right?
Yeah, it was great, except for like I wanted to puke and die, but it was also great.
That's
I hate
the other
but
part of it.
Yeah.
I get nauseous on it. I honestly didn't really get too much into it. I had like a small period I was doing it, but it made me itchy and nauseous.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really nauseous.
Scratching yourself.
But you got to get past that.
Yeah, so you're like a
It
puppy.
was very difficult for me too.
Yeah.
But immediately I knew this was like after taking it, being like, this is something way beyond anything I've ever taken, any illegal substance I've ever taken.
What did you have it for?
Well, I had a serious sledding accident.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
So
that sounds like the thing you make up to get it. I was sledding. I don't know.
I was in college and I was with a bunch of friends and we had a couple drinks to unwind ourselves that night because there was a big snowstorm.
Yeah.
So we thought that we were going to go out with these like kid sleds. We had actually gone out in the daytime sober and had a great time. So later when we were drunk, we're like, we should go back out now that we're really fucked up. This will be funny. But so this hill had a big ledge to it. So like you would come crashing down like that. Well, your response time is delayed when you're drunk. So I go off the ledge that I had done all day long and I kind of lose my balance and I try to kind of catch myself and the sled comes crashing down on my thumb, like my whole weight, like my big fat ass plus sled crushes my thumb, and I'm really, really wasted. I'm with my friends. I'm like, I feel like it's like hurts or something. Like it feels really bad, and they take me into the street light. And before I even look down, because I'm kind of talking to someone, they put it behind my back.
They don't want you to see it.
And they're like,
you see it.
so we're going to call 911. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, it's fucked up. Like, it's, and I'm like, what's wrong with it? And they're like, it's not a thumb anymore. So I had just like the tip of my like it looked like like you know like an exploding cigar in a cartoon. Like it was like that.
That's a good
and so
what a visual, man.
All the inside meat of my thumb was on the outside.
And that's from just a plastic sled?
From a plastic sled and a big like ledge, you know what I mean? Like so a big
and
like
your
the hill
own
had a
weight.
big, and my own weight plus a sled gravity coming down, destroying it. So I had been in the ER like all night. I had to wait because a plastic surgeon had to come because it was like that. And by the way, it sucks to have something like that and you're drunk. And you're like, what do you mean? Like a surgeon? Like surgery? Like I
you're
was
not just
probably
hurt,
so
you're stupid.
Yeah. So, at one point, when the plastic surgeon finally arrived, my college boyfriend at the time was with me. So he was kind of blocking my view so I wouldn't look at it because he was like, the second you see this, like, you're going to lose your mind, so just don't even look at it. And so I'm watching his face, and he just, like, he goes white all of a sudden while the surgeon is doing something. And I was like, oh, are you doing, like, stitches right now? And the surgeon goes, no, right now I'm removing what's left of your fingernail. And I was like, oh shit. So like the next morning, having come off, just the drugs they gave me in the hospital, being drunk, it was like I didn't really feel what the true pain was until like 8 hours later and just woke up screaming. So that's when I took what they had given me and I was like,
you deserved it at that point.
Yeah. I mean,
that's when you deserve to know.
Is your thumb okay now? It doesn't look.
I was trying to look at both of your thumbs. The whole time.
We're all looking at your thumbs this whole time.
I'm trying to see, there's not, see how it doesn't fluff up?
They do amazing stuff
it's
now.
such a minor problem to have, though.
Yeah.
Having an exploded
it's just not
cartoon
as fluffy
thumb.
as the other one. And I'm not even kidding. The way I notice it the most is I suck at video games now. Like I have no strength in my right thumb.
That's tragic.
And it's not. Yeah, and I loved video games.
I know. I really mean that.
I loved video games.
I wasn't
as a
even
kid.
being condescending. That sucks.
I can't play video games. I get sick when I play video games.
You don't play video games
I
at
get
all?
dizzy when I play video games.
He doesn't play video games. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't drink.
Where
He's
did they go to virtual reality? You're really going to be fucking lost.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get... Well, I don't know, because you feel like you're in it. I'm kind of excited about that. But
I don't know. I always feel dizzy in virtual reality.
Well, we tried it here.
Oh, you tried it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we tried it with...
Have you tried it?
It's just like the one that you use your iPhone with. It's a cardboard thing that you hold up to your face. And I thought I was going to pass. I mean, I was grabbing the side here. It was I was very dizzy.
Yeah, the guy that invented it, the guy that made it what it is, in the process of doing it, he was just vomiting and stuff. They'd have to give him breaks, and he'd have to leave the room and come back. Yeah. He put
and
himself.
that's going to be reality soon. We won't be called.
Oh, yeah.
You know how you don't call your phone a smartphone
It's gonna be
anymore?
life. Yeah, it's just a
It's just a
phone.
fucking phone.
Yeah.
And believe me, I grew up with phones. This is nothing like a phone. The phone's in your fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
Your mom could end up getting it.
Well, like the first time that I really it became clear to me like what direction we're going with that was when they came out with that Pokemon game.
Pokemon Go.
So it was like that, and it was using, what were they calling that thing where it's like it's using the real world?
It's
extra, so it's like
augmented reality.
Augmented reality. And immediately I started thinking like, okay, this is just like the beginning of this.
Yeah.
Plus you're going to add virtual reality. Like we're just going to be walking around and we're going to be like seeing shit and advertisements are going to be like popping up. It's not, that's going to be the world.
That's going to be life.
Yeah, that's going to be
It'll eventually be like a contact lens. That, like,
it's
Jesus
just going to
Christ.
be,
That's
your
terrifying
world
to
is
think
going to, and if you're bored and you want to play a game, it's just going to appear
It's gonna
here.
happen, whatever
and
you
maybe
want.
I could still kind of see you guys here, but I'm like over here messing with this game. It's going to be very surreal.
Evan Williams and Scott Chaplin are in studio. Evan's performing at Fit Comedy in Philly on Monday, November 21st at 8 p.m. And he'll be performing at the Creek and the Cave in Long Island City on Friday, November 25th at 7 p.m. Go to evanwilliamscomedy.com for additional dates. And Scott's performing at the Standing Room in Long Island City all weekend long. Go to standingroomlic.com for more information. And you can see Scott do a half hour at 10th Street Live in Kenilworth, Texas on Tuesday, November 22nd.
Would you just order a personal pan pizza in here?
No, they brought the Google Glass.
Oh, snap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's awesome. That was quick.
Yeah, I didn't know
That
what
was
the fuck you
fantastic.
done.
Good people.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Are you going to hook him up with one?
Yeah, I'm gonna load this up.
Hopefully he'll throw up.
Gladly.
That'd be great.
But we suddenly turned into Black Mirror. We went from dope talk to alcoholic thing to just straight Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't want him to put it on and throw up. He's been through enough, you know?
No, I'll gladly.
He's lost
throw up.
everybody.
You've never had a drink?
I've never had a
smoked?
sip of alcohol in my life. No,
It's crazy.
It's always interesting.
I've never.
the most
never
boring thing
smoked
you've ever
weed.
heard.
But last week, someone gave me like 15 milligrams. I don't know, of like some weed candy, and I've just had it in my pocket since then. And I've never done anything, and I might do this someday.
Whoa.
I'm
Right.
carrying it with me. I don't know
Like
when.
a condom when you were younger.
Yeah, exactly. I've been like debating it the past few days, but then I'm like,
Or
oh
like-
no, I did this today.
Or like an astronaut carrying a cyanide pill. Like, I might need this. I don't
Here's
know.
the thing. A lot of guys who wait till later in life end up jumping
Become
into it
monsters.
big time.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I kind of wish that I would have, particularly with any kind of psychedelic drugs, you know, I wish I would have waited.
Yeah.
Not been fucking 14, but, you know, had some philosophy in my life
Right.
I understand
before
what
I
you're
left the
saying.
planet.
Yeah. Me too.
What's the best drug you've done, feeling wise?
Man, that
'Cause
was
then
a
I'll get right
fucking-
on it.
No, man, I wouldn't. You know, I don't romance drugs anymore,
Yeah.
but obviously, any kind of opiate is an amazing fucking feeling.
Of course.
But there's also a receipt with everything. Just like there's hangovers with,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's really, I think now I hear about more people, particularly older people, having drug fuck ups than I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah.
Gail's grandparents are retired on this little fucking adult golf course community.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law is like, you know, I like to go out golfing. I just can't stand all the weed smoking. Just the old people in Florida fucking getting wasted.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they are the Woodstock generation.
Exactly.
So these
Yeah.
fucking
Wouldn't they?
dudes, they're back, right?
Yeah.
They're just like, I raised a family. Now here I am, 70. I'm going to get fucking whacked out.
I mean, good for them, honestly, yeah.
In the same way that we talk about this generation being so like tattooed into body modifications, and eventually we're going to have like an elderly generation with tattooed.
Yeah.
Like that's what's being brought in right now with the older generation having been potheads when they were young.
And it isn't just like the old drugs. They're like, oh, I'll do Molly. I never heard, I heard about it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll give it a fucking ride.
Right.
And they're fucking getting wasted in Florida.
Yeah.
Just getting whacked.
That's fantastic.
It's fucking kind of interesting.
It's a crazy place to be high, too. All this stuff is happening, like a baby getting eaten by an alligator.
Oh, yeah. It could be happening in front of you.
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
be able
it's
to
weird
handle that.
enough.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
weird enough there.
You just meet somebody at a fucking 7-Eleven and scary down in Florida.
Yeah.
All right, what is he looking at, Chris?
You should
The flight one with all the
you
celebrities.
should stand because
Stand
it's
All right, I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
stand up. All right, here we go.
Now, there's no sound involved with these, Chris?
Some of them do. Some of them.
Yeah.
It's buffering.
Oh, shit.
man.
Buffering.
no.
You're...
Directed by Dan. Okay, here we go.
All right, good.
Here we
It's got
go.
a director.
You can look up and
Lily
down.
Tomlin's involved.
Yeah, Lily Tomlin is bringing some of her best work to this.
Oh, wow.
Good for her. Oh,
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
All right. It just says starring. What the hell?
You don't
the
see the
credits.
video you
Doesn't
said?
seem to be the full
It says take
immersion. All
flight. Here we go.
right,
There
here
you
he's
go.
going to take flight.
What the?
What are you in? Are you in like an airplane?
No, I mean, right now I'm just looking at, man, I'm like outside. I don't know if that's Macy's.
Yeah, you are in New York City right now.
Oh.
Really, if you,
I gotta move around?
it's like,
Look
yeah, if
down,
you
move
want
your
to.
head.
If you look down or up, you can see shit.
I am in the sky.
Yeah. Now look up, and you can see stuff above you. Anywhere you move, I don't know.
Is this fake or is this picture?
Is this fake? No, you're really outside right now.
It says buffering. Come on.
We don't have the technology up to
He's-
speed yet.
Whoa. Yo.
When he vomits, that's not Lily Tomlin. That's just
Yeah.
the device.
So I'm like literally in the sky right now.
Not literally, no.
Not literally. No. This is why this is dangerous, man.
Yeah.
What? Dude.
And this is basically just with a fucking cardboard box in your phone.
Yeah.
So you can imagine even what the
Helmet?
what's the other Oculus Rift.
and then there's one from
I'm in the
HTC.
clouds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in the clouds.
There's one for the PS4.
Oh my God, this guy.
It's nuts.
That's crazy.
That's nauseating.
Yeah, it is.
They have porn on those things, you know.
Of course
Yeah,
they do.
It should
Obviously.
be for.
Every technology
Yeah.
gets porn first.
Yeah.
This
That's
is-
the first thing they get.
So,
They start as
really-
porn.
That's why DVDs became a thing because of porno.
If you're watching virtual reality porn,
Dancing. That's
yeah.
you're always in the perspective of the cuck. Then that's cuck. Then
No, I think you could get in and you'll have your
oh, like a
plastic
POV.
pussy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
POV, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonzo.
Okay,
Yeah, the guy's got like a headset on.
gotcha.
There's more people. There's more people.
He's eating food.
Yeah, they're just like dancing.
Yeah.
Is Lily Tomlin there?
It's like
Is Melissa McCarthy doing stuff?
no, it's like
I tell you, I saw that one. I don't remember Melissa McCarthy
No,
at
me
all.
either.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
I didn't know this was a
Oh,
Lily
yeah, the guy
Tomlin
from
joint.
Scrubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. The guy from Scrubs.
yo crazy. Wow.
And that's life. That's going to
Yeah.
be life in the future.
Yeah. And this is just
Fucking
this,
Black
He's like
Mirror.
putting his hand
crazy.
on the thing.
Yeah, shake it. Go ahead. You'll be able to touch it. You'll be able to touch it.
It's really unbelievable.
Those are like real
I mean,
cheap
it's so
too. You can
silly,
like
though.
get
They're
it.
Oh, they're like
flying
free.
in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing. Just search Google cardboard.
And then they
Yeah.
and then they make the videos for free, like the New York Times has them, right?
Yeah, New York Times. A bunch of people make like free content and just throw it out there.
Down.
But
Wow.
I'm going down.
Going down.
But see, I did the same thing the first time I saw it. I'm like, I'm going to do this all the time, and I never do.
I bought that
Yeah.
Samsung headset and I barely
know.
use it.
I know you wouldn't.
He bought me one of the cardboards and expensed it. This is for the show. We're going to be using a lot of this content. I think I played with it once.
There's one thing where you can like watch a movie in that, and it looks like you're in a theater.
Yeah.
So you look to your left and there's seats, and you're like,
That's really
Yeah.
weird. When
That's odd as shit.
When
Weird,
I fucking
yeah.
put it on and I did that, I reached out to try to touch the fucking seat next to me. It was fucking
yeah, I
very
did too.
strange.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
Really
I went to
strange.
rest my hand on the armrest.
Isn't that nuts?
Now I'm dizzy.
Now you
Yeah, yeah.
You
Now
don't
your
like it
brain's
back here.
here.
To eat that fucking edible and get right back in.
I'm literally in the sky.
That is insane.
It makes you so
That is so
stupid.
impressive.
And it's really just the fucking phone. That's not even the real shit.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's like when you're
Yeah.
totally jacked into that
Yeah.
fucking system.
Like the Oculus Rift has like a cord going to a very powerful computer simulating all this shit. And then there's another
I
one.
think Anthony Cumia does
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
right?
he has an Oculus Rift. Yeah,
I never want to be the first generation of anything.
No.
I wait until it's,
Yeah.
it's already fixed and it's.
And then there's one called the Vive where you set up like a perimeter and you can walk around and interact with the fucking environment. With
I
that.
don't know if I want to do that.
It's really strange.
It's crazy. Is that where you have like stuff in your hands
Yeah, you
as
have
well?
to- yeah, like-
I've seen the one where you put that on your face and then like there's like fake titties you touch and stuff. You know what
So
I'm
you're
talking about?
sitting there, you're gonna like,
And you're just it's just like bags of mush.
Oh my god!
So and you just get to like grab it.
Something's going into my mouth. Out the
didn't sign up for this.
But that won't it be weird? Like instead of going home for Thanksgiving, everybody just puts one of these things on, and everyone's just
feasts.
Like, yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's also like I always wonder like how do people, especially with like Skype and stuff like that, it's like how do people cheat on each other anymore? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like how do
you know how easy it used to be for
That's what I'm saying. It must have
married
been
comics
amazing.
to fuck they'd have a fucking girlfriend at every club.
Yep.
And
That's what I
now,
heard.
because Instagram and shit, it doesn't exist.
You can't.
It's just fucking gone because but even like guys used to go to Vietnam and like they would make a call at Christmas for 2 minutes. Now if you're in Afghanistan, you're on Skype. I know, honey. I said I'd fucking take care of it. I was in a fucking firefight.
Yeah.
No, today I was in a firefight. It's hot. They can't fucking be anywhere. You can't be anywhere.
No, you can't.
You're always
home.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's crazy.
You don't
constantly on the
fucking-
radar.
Yeah, you don't move around. You used to like say goodbye. You would like, oh, I'm moving out of St. Louis. I'm moving to Seattle. Goodbye, everyone.
Yep.
Not fucking hear from those people every day, knowing like, oh, I saw your new workplace.
I give you a like on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not on Facebook at all for that very reason. I want to miss people. I want to remember them as they were.
Oh, the idea of a high school reunion is done.
Yeah.
It's over. Yeah, I know what everybody's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just met my cousin's husband for the first time. They've been married for a long time.
Live in Hawaii.
And I was just like, hey, what's up? And I was like, no,
Yeah,
I don't I don't know why I just treated this like, hey, how are you doing?
Right.
Instead of being like, oh my God, I can't believe this is the first time we're meeting.
Yes.
But I just feel like I know him. I see him on Facebook or on her Instagram. I feel like I know her family, but I'd never met him in all these years. So it's like one of those weird things. And I had a really creepy thing happen to me where I recognized an old coworker's kids and wife and almost said hi to them and realized I had never met them.
At
And
that
I was
point,
like, ew, weird. I recognized he wasn't with them.
Yeah.
It was like the wife
Oh my
and the
God.
kids were out and they live in my neighborhood. And I almost went, hey, how are you guys? And I'm like, oh, I don't know those people at all.
you were like accidentally a terrifying stalker.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Totally on accident.
Yeah.
And it's also why I don't think that, and people of any celebrities anymore. Like, I think if even Trump came in here, we'd be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
Congratulations.
it's that guy from
Like,
Apprentice.
Yeah. I don't think that we would be like blown away, like, oh my God, the president of the United States was here.
Especially
You know?
not
No,
Trump.
absolutely.
Especially not Trump. Don't be that. Listen, let it go, bro. Just heal the country, Chris.
Okay.
It's been a week.
Yes, it's been a week. Accept the new fucking regime.
Evan Williams and Scott
World
Chaplin
order.
are in studio.
Yes, I see them.
Perfect timing.
Evan's performing at Fit Comedy in Philly on Monday, November 21st, 8 p.m. And he's performing at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City Friday, November 25th at 7 p.m. Go to evanwilliamscomedy.com for all additional dates. And Scott's performing at the Standing Room in Long Island City all weekend long. Go to standingroomlic.com for more information. And Scott's doing a half hour at 10th Street Live in Kenilworth, Texas, Tuesday, November 22nd.
Kenilworth, New Jersey.
Kenilworth, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Texas would be-
that's cool too, though.
Yeah.
New Jersey.
That's a long way to go do a half hour.
Kenilworth, New Jersey, everyone. 10th Street Live. Not
A lot
Texas.
of people in Texas just went, oh, shit. Really wanted to go to that
I was hoping to see him.
God damn it.
Sorry, Texas.
Sorry to all of us, Chris.
I'm sorry. Everyone, I
Oh,
apologize.
we're fine.
I love that easy out you have, though. An awkward situation.
Yeah, you
start
just
reading
bring it right
credits.
up.
Yeah.
Got some plugs. You guys like plugs, right?
Wish I could use that in my real life.
Just start to go to plugs.
Yeah. Like,
awesome.
hey, when are you guys having kids? Like, Evan Williams is going to be at Fit in Philly. Wish I could do that.
Why do some people feel okay with asking a question like that too.
Always.
I'm always
Very
amazed
common.
that someone could say anything like that.
Yeah, and like you don't know people. Like you go up to someone like, "Oh, what? You guys don't want kids?" You don't know. They could be trying. They
have
you
a
don't
bad
know.
dad uterus broken.
Yeah, like you don't
could
know
be
what you're
unable. Yeah, exactly.
It's a very weird thing, but people are very comfortable to say. So, what are your plans? What are you doing?
I'll do this though. How come you guys don't like black people? Is there a reason? Did
that's a
something
fun one,
happen?
That's a fun one.
I'll be saying that at Thanksgiving. Hey, I never asked you guys.
Why don't you like black
How come we never like black people? How come you taught me the wrong eeny, meeny, miny, mo? When people are always wondering, like, how did Trump get elected? We are going for Thanksgiving to see. Because my family is 100%.
Your family 100%? Voted for Trump.
100%.
Yeah, my family voted for. I mean, I didn't, but my family.
Nobody in mine openly did, but you know what I mean. That's possible.
There could be some secret Trump supporters.
Yeah, some fiscal people. You know? They fiscally support him. You know? Yeah.
I don't know about just getting rid of 3 million Mexicans, but I do like the lower taxes. I'll keep an extra $1,000 a year if I don't care what else happens.
That's exactly what happened too.
That's literally almost the lowest thing that you could do.
That's what everybody did though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't understand. I'm getting an extra $1,700.
If you're lucky. Probably not even.
Yeah. We're cutting the taxes for you. And in the meantime, we're doing some horrible things. So, go ahead, do it.
2 to 3 million in the first, 90 days, right?
They say.
How is that? How do you do that? You just get inmates, right? The ones that are in prison?
That's funny because they're not bothering us. The ones that are in prison. Yeah. But they say that there's like 500,000 undocumented people in New York City, and I'm like, yeah, I know they do the delivery.
Yeah,
I need those fucking
They do a lot of good work here. Yeah,
and they also are the nicest, quietest people. They're
most
just
humble people.
Yeah, they couldn't be sweeter. Like, let's get rid of those dudes. Why don't we get rid of a lot of people who were fucking born here? Right?
Yeah.
There's plenty of people here.
It's like maybe like a personality test.
I don't want to just say the Jews, but anyone who lives in the city knows
someone
what
who's
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we get them out of lines.
Right.
They can't be in the store with us.
Yeah.
And the LAPD is saying that they won't help Trump if it's going to be like a door-to-door situation.
It'll be really fascinating.
I mean, there's no way you can't go door to door and hear people from their home.
Where are your papers? Just children, take the baby out. Babies are screaming and shit. I don't know. I never even heard of even a lot of people being pissed about immigrants. Maybe I just don't know people who are angry about immigrants.
I mean, maybe that's something that's very specific to border town. I mean, when he started to say they're coming over our borders and they're stealing and they're raping us all, I'm like, is this a specific problem somewhere that I'm not aware of? Because I'm not experiencing the frequent Mexican rapes.
No. Right. Well, we'd rather have you do is take care of some of those subway entertainers.
Showtime.
I'm not here to support my basketball team. You gotta go.
That's all. You gotta go. That's all expensive for M&M peanuts. Chris, we got to wrap this up, buddy.
Yes, we do.
Oh, you guys are great, by the way. Seriously,
thank you guys for having us, man. Always a pleasure.
Evan Williams and Scott Chaplin have been in the studio. Evan's performing at Fit Comedy in Philly Monday, November 21st at 8 p.m. And he'll be at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City Friday, November 25th at 7 p.m. Go to evanwilliamscomedy.com for all additional dates. And Scott Chaplin's performing at the Standing Room in Long Island City all weekend long. Go to standingroomlic.com for more information. And you can see Scott do a half hour at 10th Street Live in Kenilworth, New Jersey on Tuesday.
Got it.
November 22nd.
And then both of my dates were half hours as well. I'm going to be doing half hours.
Oh, good for him.
Half hour.
Just clear that up.
Half hour
for both shows.
You did a great job, Chris. You did a great
Thanks,
Seriously, you're doing a good job.
Your family will be proud.
I'm sure they would.